Hey. Hello, hello, hello. How are you all doing tonight, this afternoon, this evening? Hello, Ron. How you doing? It's okay. Waiting for Boss Lady. Start the show. Boss Lady, what you gonna do so I can start this up? Well, I'm gonna start this up. This is about a 12-year. I mean, she's not 12 now, but she was 12 when she first had her baby. So we will listen to her story time, and we're gonna see how it's in the chat, Boss Lady. I sent it again. Yeah, like I said, she was 12. She's gonna tell her story, and we want to see how this relates to other 12-year-olds. Because something was she not being watched? Was she fast? This is what's going on in our communities every single day. Every day is going on in our communities. But we will hear the story out. Let's go.
So my mom sent us to South Carolina for the summer, which we actually ended up staying longer. And my aunt was introducing me to everybody, like her in-laws and all. One of her in-laws is like 17. I want to say he was like 16 at the time. He caught my attention. At the time, I was hanging around people that was older than me. I did
Oh,
not look
I
like I
don't
was
know.
11. So my aunt was introducing me to everybody when we came down here for the summer. And mind you, I have one older brother and two younger brothers, and everybody's older than me. And I grew up with nothing but boys and some girls. My older cousin, she was about 17, 18 at the time. She told me that I need to be in a child's place and stay away from teen boys. I didn't think nothing of it, so I was hanging around with everybody. But again, y'all, this one boy caught my attention. He was, at the time, I thought this boy was fine, bad to the bone. I'm running out of time. Like, okay, y'all, part two. So after my aunt finished introducing us, they told us all to go play outside. I'm a tomboy. Again, I grew up with nothing but boys. So at the end of the day, I was playing outside with them. Then we started playing hiding.
Yeah, I don't see it neither. I don't see it. That's crazy. That is crazy. I have a 15-year-old daughter and a 17-year-old son, and we are always talking about life situations. Yeah, I don't see it either, Boss Lady. I don't know why. It's showing up on one end, but not on your end. That's crazy. I'll try it again. I don't know. Not to mind you, she's at the aunt house. She's in South Carolina. So we'll have to finish hearing this story out.
And go get it. I did not know what the fuck that was. Okay, I did not know. So we playing how to go get it, and I just so end up happen to be with him. So he's helping me through the neighborhood while we're playing because it was a big ass neighborhood. And then we ended up back in my aunt's house. Now this is the part when we started talking to each other and asking like actual questions, like how old we were and all of it. Now we started going over our ages. I told everybody that I was 10 turning 11. So it's not like people did not know how old I was. But again, y'all, I told y'all I did not look my age. I looked older. And then he was just telling me how pretty I was, how cute I am, this, that, and the third. I was fine, this, that, and the third. And me being 10, I did not know exactly what that means.
She's 10. She's 10 turning 11. She's 10 turning 11.
I'm running out of time. Okay, so part 3. So now we're talking about how pretty I am or whatever the case may be. And now at this moment, we're hanging out even more. I'm hanging around them even more because my mother done lied about us being in South Carolina only for the summer. It ended up being for the damn school year. So now here I am entering the 5th grade. Just started my period and all. My mother talking to me, letting me know about period, being pregnant, boys, all this stuff like that. So I'm just listening to my mom like, nope, I'm not getting pregnant. I'm not having sex. I'm not doing none of that. Can't nobody talk me into doing that, okay? But again, y'all, I liked this boy so fucking bad.
Hey, Nicole.
So here I am hanging around them now all the time because now I live in South Carolina and I'm going to school in South Carolina and I'm seeing them all the time. Going to football games, basketball games, everything. So now, this is the night that it happened. So he had a football game. And of course, because in my head, that was my man, I went to the football game. And let me tell y'all something real quick. Public service of fucking announcement. This man was claimed to be my man because we were already together. Okay, y'all, part 4. So this is the night that it happened where I actually lost my virginity. So after the football game, they came down to my aunt's house because at the time we were staying with my aunt. And nobody was home. Nobody was home at all. So since nobody was home, of course, a nigga gonna sweet talk you out your draw. And again, I'm 11. So, mind you, we've already been kissing and whatever the case may be. So now we're kissing and touching and whatever the case may be. And now it's time to do the do. Of course, me being me, I was scared as fuck. But I'm like, at the end of the day, I like this boy. And I was told by the boy, if you love me, you would do it. The worst mistake I ever did, okay? So now he said that, and I'm like, damn, I love this boy, so let me go ahead and do it. So we ended up doing it. This was the first time ever that I did the nasty. No protection, no none of that. So we didn't use protection. And, you know, in my head, I'm like, if I'm on my period, I can't get pregnant. And that's what it was. So now at this point, we're having sex. Okay, y'all, part 5. So now at this moment, I'm having sex with this person constantly. Because in my mind, this is my man. So now fast forward to November. I'm getting thick. And y'all, when I say I'm getting thick, like my boobs are growing bigger than what it is. My butt is growing bigger than what it is. And I already have an ass. So now he's looking at me. He's like, what we going to do with that? I'm like, what do you mean? So I started to notice I'm sleeping more when I get home from school. Like I'll do my homework and I'll go straight to sleep. And my mama started to notice something was wrong. So y'all, I had a little pudge or whatever the case may be, which I'm not known to have a pudge. So my mom looked at me. She was like, something ain't right. Let me check you. So my mama laid me on the bed and checked me down there, literally. And I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you checking me? What's going on? So this is a constant thing. We're having sex. I'm being sleepy. My mama checking me, whatever the case may be. So now we get to my birthday, which is in January. Okay, y'all, I'll post part 6 in the morning. Y'all ready for part 6? Okay, y'all, so now fast forward to my birthday. Me and my mom got the same birthday, and we took a picture together. My mom sent a picture to my aunt in New York. My aunt in New York was like, something don't look right. Kiera is getting bigger, and I'm never big. So then my aunt in New York was like, y'all need to go get Kiera checked. She look pregnant. And if y'all don't get her checked, I'm calling DSS. So that was the 7th of January. Fast forward to the 27th. My mother called me off the bus on the 27th, my full government name in front of everybody in the front of the neighborhood. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, chill, you embarrassing me. What's going on? She took me to the hospital. And she was like, we're going to get this test done so that way we can prove everybody wrong. A few hours go by. The doctor said, Mom, good news is she ain't got no STD. Bad news is your daughter's pregnant. I'll post part 7. I'm sorry, y'all. Here's part 7. So now my mama in the hospital flipping shit. She calls my dad to let him know that I am pregnant. Of course, he's crying and doing the most.
I'm trying, boss lady.
But then now my mother is asking me, who is it? Who are you sleeping with? Who is the father? I try to keep it in as long as possible. But then I just broke down and started crying even harder and told her who it was. So then we went to his house where him and his parents live. And my mother's telling his mother and his father, like, listen, your son got my daughter pregnant. And he burst out in tears. His mom almost threw him out the window. My mother ended up calling my aunt down there. And because my aunt was pregnant as a teen, she flipped. So I'm sitting in a chair and she literally
see if you see it now.
Up. And my family was like, why did you do it? Why did you have sex?
See if you see it.
Because I wanted to try it. Everybody else was doing it. I had an itch. That's what I said. I'm running out of time. Part 8 coming. I told you I was coming back with part 8. So after everybody found out that I was having sex with him, and now that's going to be my baby daddy, my mama was like, hell no, she ain't having this damn baby. His family was like that too. So my
Hey, Queen.
Hey, good afternoon.
Yeah, it's not letting me drop it in here for some reason. I kept throwing it in there, like, but when I go to the other side, I didn't see it. So I'm like, oh gosh. So let me just try it another way. So we made it.
Mm-hmm.
How's your day?
It's going pretty good. I had a rough night, but I made it.
Yeah, that's why I'm so late. This little girl, people was missing the part. The mother wanted to throw him out the window. Yeah, because that statue. See, the thing is, he's 17, so he's really not 18 yet. But he was messing with the little girl since she was 11 years old. She's in 5th grade at this time.
Yeah, he knew better. He knew he was too old to be talking to this little girl, and it was his cousin.
No, the in-law.
Oh, cousin-in-law, still.
Or the aunt, her aunt, what she stayed with for the summertime. It was, I guess, who she was messing with, her in-laws.
Yeah, still, that should have been off limits to him. And why was he? What was wrong with him that he had to be looking within the family to be finding somebody to mess with, not even to go with to mess with? It had to be a secret.
But the thing is, I think by the time she had this baby, he's 18 now. He knew better. Yeah, talking about she didn't look. Remember when they first, my bad. When they first met, she was 10, turning 11.
Exactly.
10, turning 11. What do a 10-year-old look like?
And so he was 16 then.
No, he was 17.
No, when she was 10.
I'll have to rewind that back. I believe he was 17 then. I think by the time she had a baby, he was 18. Because the girl talked so fast. She's like a mile a minute. And the I know she said right. I'm like, damn girl, then come part 2. So we got the that's why I said me hear this out some because you just going too fast, can't stop. But I'm gonna rewind it back because either she got the ages. I know she said 10 going on 11, but either way, she was just turning 12. I think she got the ages mixed up. We're gonna start over.
And a mother at 12. So my mom sent us to South Carolina.
Okay, pregnant at 11 and a mother at 12. So she was 10. So now we got here the age of the boy. So I had that part correct.
For the summer, which we actually ended up staying longer. And my aunt was introducing me to everybody, like her in-laws. And one of her in-laws is like 17. I want to say he was like 16 at the time.
See? He was 16 at the time.
That's what I said.
So what you doing messing with a 10-year-old? So by the time she had a baby, he was probably turning 8. Oh, he's lucky. He's lucky. Oh, he's so lucky he ain't been in jail. But I'm like this. What do a 10-year-old look like? It doesn't matter what a 10-year-old looks like. You still know she's 10. You still know that she's 10. I don't care what she
Even if
like.
she didn't look 10, she didn't look grown.
She didn't look like no 16 either. And then the girl said, she didn't say she was big for her age. She said I'm never big. And, she never had a stomach or nothing like that. So it's not like she could say, well, I developed young. Bitch, I mean, oops, sorry. I'm like, little girl, what do you mean you didn't? No, you didn't even get your menstrual yet when you first met him. When you came back, you got your menstrual cycle and all of that. You say your mom was talking to you about that. And at that point, you're doing it with this boy. So you wasn't even developed. So it's not like she could say I was developing early. I didn't look like a 10-year-old because I had, big boobs in them. She said she didn't have none of that.
She said she was a tomboy.
Yeah, so how big was she? Unless she was, I don't know. She only look about 14, 15 now. Look at her. She's still like a teenager if you ask me. Shoot.
He caught my attention. At the time, I was hanging around people that was older than me. I did not look like I was 11. So my aunt was introducing me to everybody when we came down here for the summer. And mind you, I have one older brother and two younger brothers, and everybody's older than me, and I grew up with nothing but boys and some girls. My older cousin, she was about 17, 18 at the time. She told me that I need to be in a child's place and stay away from teen boys. I didn't think nothing of it, so I was hanging around with everybody. But again, y'all, this one boy caught my attention. He was...
Again, her mother had spoken to her. Her mother had told her. So we cannot say... Now, I don't know what happened in her family because she said she's only supposed to stay with her aunt for the summer. It ended up staying for the full school year. Then she jumps back and says that now she's with her mother. I don't know if y'all caught on what she said, but she left out something here. When did you go back home, and how did you and this boy keep screwing when you're in South Carolina, unless your mother moved down to South Carolina? But then you said you were in New York. So how you still screwing with this boy? How you doing, Leslie? Shabbat shalom.
She must have just got pregnant on the first time. And
no, I let it run. She said me and the boy keep screwing. First time she did it with him, she was on her meds. So she was like,
right, that's gross.
Ain't that something? Ooh. Well, he's 16. What he care for? Well, he's 17, turning 18. But I'm trying to figure out, how does she get from South Carolina to New York, or did she stay in South Carolina? But then she said her mother was checking her. This girl is all over the place. So
hey, Leslie. Hey, Dakota.
Hey,
Nicole.
Nicole. Peace and blessings to you too, love. Good thing I did rewind it so they can hear it, right? Because they all late for class.
For the summer. And mind you, I have one older brother and two younger brothers, and everybody's older than me, and I grew up with nothing but boys and some girls. My older cousin, she was about 17, 18 at the time. She told me that I need to be in a child's place and stay away from teen boys. I didn't think nothing of it, so I was hanging around with everybody. But again, y'all, this one boy caught my attention. He was, at the time, I thought this boy was fine, bad to the bone. I'm running out of time. Okay, y'all, part 2. So after my aunt...
See how she go, okay, part 2. Now, he didn't catch your attention. You caught his attention.
Finish introducing us.
And he showed interest in you. And I'm going to get that little 4th grader. At that point, 16 years old, he's in 11th grade regardless.
Yeah.
Regardless of how you put it, at 16 years old, you're in 11th grade. She's not even in junior high school. So how did you miss that? People, that's what I be trying to tell them kids too. I say, yeah, I get that some of them, they just turned, some of them 17. I let them know, that 14-year-old is still too young for you. It's still too young. So at 16 years old, even if he was 16, he didn't turn 17 yet. If he turned 17, because you usually go into 12th grade, you go into 12th grade 17, turning 18. You usually graduate by the time you turn 18, unless your birthday is after June. Then you graduate at 17.
Mm-hmm.
So at 17, 18, you're in 12th grade, getting ready to go to college. She still has 2 more years to go before she get into junior high school. Well, and that's how it was in New York. New York used to be up to 6th grade, and you do 7th grade in junior high school. But her mom is still in New York. So around that time, according to her age, she would still been in public school. So, but like I said, you're gonna hear how she confuses the story because she talks really fast. So y'all guys hold your ears together.
Oh, I was hanging around with everybody. But again, y'all, this one boy caught my attention. He was, at the time, I thought this boy was fine, bad to the bone. I'm running out of time. Like, okay, y'all, part 2. So after my aunt finished introducing us, they told us all to go play outside. I'm a tomboy. Again, I grew up with nothing but boys. So at the end of the day, I was playing outside with them. Then we started playing hide and go get it. I did not know what the fuck that was. Okay, I did not know. So we playing hide and go get it, and I just so end up happened to be with him. So he's helping me through the neighborhood while we're playing because it was a big ass neighborhood. And then we ended up back in my aunt's house. Now this is the part when we started talking to each other and asking like actual questions, like how old we were and all of it. Now we started going over our ages. I told everybody that I was 10 turning 11. So it's not like people did not know.
No, we know you're turning 11. You were 10. People say that because they want to justify like I'm turning 11. No, you was 10. That's it. When you turn 11, you'll be 11. You were 10. 10.
Know how old I was. But again, y'all, I told y'all I did not look my age. I looked older. And then he was just telling me how pretty I was, how cute I am, this, that, and the third. I was fine, this, that, and the third. And me being 10, I did not know exactly what that means. Okay, y'all, I am running out of time. Okay, so part 3. So now we're talking about how pretty I am or whatever the case may be. And now at this moment, we're hanging out even more. I'm hanging around them even more because my mother done lied about us being in South Carolina only for the summer. It ended up being...
Now, this the part. The next part, she's going to have you confused because then she's going to bring in the mother. Now, I'm like, did the mother move to South Carolina or did the boy, how y'all still screwing? And how your mother go to his house and all this stuff? So your mother went down to South Carolina. Girl, you wouldn't tell the story. You got to slow down a little bit.
The damn school year. So now here I am entering the 5th grade. Just started my period and all. My mother talking to me, letting me know about...
She's in 5th grade. She just started her men's cycle.
A period, being pregnant, boys, all this stuff like that. So I'm just listening to my mom like, nope, I'm not getting pregnant. I'm not having sex. I'm not doing none of that. Can't nobody talk me into doing that. Okay? But again, y'all, I liked this boy so fucking bad. So here I am hanging around them now all the time because now I live in South Carolina and I'm going to school in South Carolina and I'm seeing them all the time.
All right.
Going to football games, basketball games, everything.
Where are your mama coming at?
This is the night that it happened. So he had a football game. And of course, because in my head, that was my man, I went to the football game. And let me tell y'all something real quick. Public service of fucking announcement. This man was claimed to be my man because we were already together. Okay, y'all, part 4. So this is the night that it happened where I actually lost my virginity. So after the football game, they came down to my aunt's house because at the time we were staying with my aunt. And nobody was home. Nobody was home at all. So since nobody was home, of course, a nigga gonna sweet talk you out your draw. And again, I'm 11. So, mind you, we've already been kissing and whatever the case may be. So now we're kissing and touching and whatever the case may be. And now it's time to do the do. Of course, me being me, I was scared as fuck. But I'm like, at the end of the day, I like this boy. And I was told by the boy, if you love me, you would do it. The worst mistake I ever did, okay? So now he said that, and I'm like, damn, I love this boy, so let me go ahead and do it. So we ended up doing it. This was the first time ever that I did the nasty. No protection, no none of that. So we didn't use protection. And, you know, in my head, I'm like, if I'm on my period, I can't get pregnant. And that's what it was. So now at this point, we're having sex. Okay, y'all, part 5. So now at this moment, I'm having sex with this person constantly. Because in my mind, this is my man. So now fast forward to November, I'm getting thick. And y'all, when I say I'm getting thick, like my boobs are growing bigger than what it is. My butt is growing bigger than what it is. And I already have an ass. So now he's looking at me. He's like, what we going to do with that? I'm like, what do you mean? So I started to notice I'm sleeping more when I get home from school. Like I'll do my homework and I'll go straight to sleep. And my mama started to notice something was wrong. So yeah, I had a little pudge or whatever kiss and be, which I'm not
Well,
known.
he already noticed.
Now we're gonna take it as her mother moved to South Carolina. We're gonna throw that in. We're gonna throw that in, right? Yeah, he
Yeah, because he
noticed it.
said he noticed first. He talking about what we gonna do with that. So he noticed that she was pregnant.
And so, which means she knew too, but she tried to hide it. But they caught her ass.
Mm-hmm.
Then her mama gonna notice it too. But at this point she's getting up there. But the point is, I'm gonna throw in her mother moved down to South, ended up moving down to South Carolina, and then her rest of her family stayed in New York. Now the thing to this is, she sent your ass down there because you probably was uh you forgot to tell us the before part, the why you went down there for the summer, because she wanted to get you out of New York City for what? So you to do the same thing when you get down to South Carolina. Yeah, parents can't win no way, right? So your mother sent you down there. Like, did she send you down there because she was having problems, or did she send you down there because she didn't want you to get caught up in the boys and stuff up here and sent you down there because she figured that's a different environment? But then oh gosh, well, we'll learn more of her to tell her story because she's all over the place.
Known to have a pud. So my mom looked at me. She was like, something ain't right. Let me check you. So my mama laid me on the bed and checked me down there, literally. And I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Like, why are you checking me? What's going on? So this is a constant thing. We're having sex. I'm being sleepy. My mama checking me, whatever case may be. So now we get to my birthday, which is in January. Okay, y'all, I'll post part 6 in the morning. Y'all ready for part 6? Okay, y'all. So now fast forward to my birthday. Me and my mom got the same birthday. And we took a picture together. My mom sent the picture to my aunt in New York. My aunt in New York was like, something don't look right. Kiera is getting bigger, and I'm never big. So then my aunt in New York was like, y'all need to go get Kiera checked.
She's never big. So how does she look older than 10? You see what I'm saying, boss lady?
Yeah, well, she said she mean thick, like hips and stuff.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. She didn't have that then. So you can't use that the excuse for that damn boy.
Yeah, that she looked at. Yeah, I got it.
See, if she was never big, like I could see she would have said I developed early and I had hips and big breasts and stuff like that. But she said she was never big. So how did you look older than a 10-year-old?
Exactly. That didn't make sense.
They know we're gonna break it down. They know we're gonna break it down now. Where's the supervision? She has supervision. I guess they figured. First of all, the boys coming. I think it was a thing that being that the aunt was dating or had kids probably by whoever it is in his family. You know, the aunt probably seen him as family because she said she got 2 older brothers and a younger brother. So they probably was making it seem like he was coming around to play with the brothers, but he was really playing with the little sister. You understand what I'm saying? This is why you got to watch your kids even more.
When did she say she always had hips? I didn't hear her say that, Mozzie.
Yeah, I didn't hear her say that neither. I'll rewind it because she didn't say she had hips, and because she said she never was big, so there's no hips there. Hey, Miss Molly, how you doing? I didn't hear that. I'll rewind it. My mom sent a picture to my aunt in New York. My aunt in New York was like, something don't look right. Kiera is getting bigger, and I'm never big. So then my aunt in New York was like, y'all need. It says never big, Miss Molly. Never big. She ain't saying nothing about hips. To go get Kiera checked. She looked pregnant, and if y'all don't get her checked, I'm calling DSS. So that was the 7th of January. Fast forward to the 27th. My mother called me off the bus on the 27th, my full government name in front of everybody. Thank you, love. In front of the neighborhood. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, chill, you embarrassing me. What's going on? She took me to the hospital. And she was like, we're going to get this test done so that way we can prove everybody wrong. A few hours go by.
The doctor said, Mom, good news is she ain't got no STD. Bad news is your daughter's pregnant. I'll post part 7. I'm sorry, y'all. Here's part 7. So now my mama in the hospital flipping shit. She calls my dad to let him know that I am pregnant. Of course, he's crying and doing the most, as he should as a father. But then now my mother is asking me, who is it? Who are you sleeping with? Who is the father? I try to keep it in as long as possible. Then I just broke down and started crying even harder and told her who it was. So then we went to his house where him and his parents live. And my mother's telling his mother and his father, like, listen, your son got my daughter pregnant. And he burst out in tears.
Oh, now he burst out in tears.
My mother ended up calling my aunt down here. And because my aunt was pregnant as a teen, she flipped. So I'm sitting in a chair and she literally jacks me up. And my family's like, why did you do it? Why did you have sex? And I'm like, because I wanted to try it. Everybody else was doing it. I had an itch. That's what I said.
She had an itch? Hold on.
I told you I was coming back with part 8. So.
Hold on, boss lady. Boss lady. She said she had an itch.
Yeah. She was hot in the ass.
She said she had an itch. Well, I'll be there. She had an
hot
itch.
in the ass, honey.
No, you came in late. She was talking to the boy since she was 10. So she had an itch. By the time, no, she let that boy influence her. She let that boy influence her, which I could understand how she did that because she's only 10, 11, and 12. And he is still, at this point, he's 16, 17. He knew what he was doing. Right. He knew what he was doing. She didn't know what he was doing. She didn't have no itch. That damn boy took advantage of her. And it's not like the family didn't care, because they was, as she said, they always spoke to her. They always told her, now you got your menstrual, don't be out there messing with them boys. They're going to show you. I tell you, these stories are good because it goes to show you that you can't watch your kids enough.
Hey, Glamour.
You cannot watch your kids enough. You can watch your kids be the best parent that these kids is going to do what they want to do. And people can't be like, no, not my kid. Yes, your kid too. Your kid too.
And she kept that secret for a long time, because she said she didn't tell them until after the pregnancy, so the relationship was a secret. So she knew what she was doing.
And he knew that girl was knocked up because he said it first. What you gonna do about this?
Mm-hmm.
And now he crying. I'd have punched him right in the face. I'd have punched him right. Pow. I'm like, no, y'all ain't gotta jack him up. I got this. I'd have punched him right in the face. She said, because everybody else is doing it. Who's everybody else? Who's everybody else?
All 11-year-olds are having sex. Are you serious?
And the auntie, I believe they grown, and she had an itch. I gotta go on that part. She had an itch. You should have got your ass in the tub then and washed that itch away. I don't know what to tell you. That's what I said. But remember, she's telling her story. This is not to downgrade her story. This is not to talk about her. This purpose of this video because it's a real life. It's real life issues we go through every day. So we are not bashing her at all. We're just saying how things happen. We're just breaking down the story. Running out of time. Part 8 coming.
I told you I was coming back with part 8. So after everybody found out that I was having sex with him, and now that's gonna be my baby daddy, my mama was like, hell no, she ain't having this damn baby. His family was like that too. So my mom was like, we gonna need to do what we have to do so that way we can go ahead and get her this abortion. So everybody know end of January, tax time comes, right? So my mom was waiting on her paperwork to come in, and she went to go file her taxes. So mama took me to doctor's care, if anybody know what that is, just to see how far along I was. Doctor care took blood, and they was like, okay, she's only 3.5 to 4 weeks pregnant. Okay, cool. But now my mama taxes didn't come in on time, so now we have to wait 2 more weeks. So that would make me 6 weeks. So we're waiting on, Texas to come in.
All
And
right,
then they finally
baby.
came in, okay? I'm running out of time, y'all.
Okay,
Part 9. So her taxes finally came in, and I did not go to school. So she told me we was going to Georgia. And I'm like, okay, why are we going to Georgia? She was like, so you can have the abortion. So in my head, I'm like, why we just can't do it in South Carolina? And she was just like, certain amount of weeks, you have to do it out of state. So now, me, his mama, his daddy, his aunt, and my mama going to Georgia. So we cruising in Georgia, and now we get to the abortion clinic. So the lady is like, how are you doing? How many weeks are you? Now at this time, I'm 6 weeks. 6 weeks. So now, we're going over everything, and she's talking to me about how the process works. So she lays me on the table, and my mother is standing beside. So the girl lays me on the table, and she has the vaginal ultrasound. So she goes to stick the vaginal ultrasound inside.
And you're more than 6
and
weeks
then
pregnant.
once she stuck the vaginal ultrasound inside of me, okay, y'all, part 10. So now she's sticking the vaginal ultrasound inside of me. And of course I'm hurting. So she takes it out and she was like, I know it feels uncomfortable. We're gonna do a different way. So now she gets the other ultrasound. If you ever been pregnant, they put it on your stomach. So she goes to putting it on my stomach,
That's
and she
the one
like
she
pressing
supposed to
hard down too, trying to measure the baby, see, hear the heart beating on. Then she goes and said, "Uh-oh." And I was like, "Uh-oh, what?"
You more than 6 weeks pregnant.
She was like, "Nothing, Mom. I'm gonna go ahead and
we knew that from the
double
get-go.
check before I tell you anything."
We knew that
So
already.
she get the double checking and she getting writing stuff down, and I'm looking at her and I'm looking at my mom looking at me, and we looking at each other. She was like, "Mom, she's not gonna be able to get this abortion." And my mom was like, "Well, why the hell not?" She said, "Because your daughter is 5.5 months pregnant."
Exactly. We could have told you that.
I was like, "Oh hell." Part 11. So now my mom is hella pissed.
We could have told you that.
Crying. Then I get up, fix myself and go out the room, and my mom's coming behind me. Then his dad sees me storming out the building, and he comes and hugs me. And I just start crying even harder. And he was like, What happened? You don't want to tell me right now?" And I'm just shaking my head like, "No, I'll tell you later. I don't want to talk about it." So now we have to drive back to Columbia. And we get back to Columbia, but instead of them dropping us off home, they took us to their house. And they're like, "Well, we need to figure out what we're going to do with the baby." And I'm just crying. I kept saying, "I don't want the baby. I'm too young. I don't want a baby right now."
You too young.
Then they asked him what he think. He's looking at me like, "I want to keep my baby." I got to come back for part 12. I swear. Part 12. So now that we are at the house and discussing everything that's going on with the baby, I decided to tell them I'd rather give my baby up for adoption. I don't want her to be around my mom who's an alcoholic. And once I mentioned the reasons why,
that's right.
He was just like, "No, I'm going to be there for my baby. I'm going to take care of my baby." Doing all this extraness. And I'm just like, at the end of the day, this is about me. This is not about you. I don't want my baby in a family. No.
She's 12.
Nowhere around here. No.
She's 12.
And so now he's basically trying to plead his case. Him and his people trying to plead his case about.
She's so what she want and what she don't want. But not to mind you, she's still 12. My mom was an alcoholic. My mom was this. But all of a sudden, you can make good decisions now, right? Jeez.
Yeah, because she's pregnant. Ain't that something?
Nah, I no, you wanted to give up abortion because you wanted your life back. Got nothing to do with your mama being an alcoholic. I get you, little young lady. But at this point in time,
why I should keep the baby. So my mother was like, at the end of the day, I already tried to make her have an abortion. I'm going to leave this up to her. So my mother was like, we can go home. You can think about it because I don't want this stressing you out. So we left and I went home and I just cried my eyes out. Y'all are so hilarious. But yeah, here's part 13. So now, of course, I've been thinking about it. It's been several months I've been thinking about it. My due date is May 17th. So I'm like, at this moment, I got to make a decision for real, for real. So, me and him conversated on the phone on what we wanted to name our child. He wanted the name Raven. And I was just like, okay. But ultimately, it's still my decision since I'm the mother. And then me being in love with him, I was in my head, I was like, damn, if I do keep this baby, me and him could be together. We can raise this baby together, whatever the case may be. Then
no, you're too young to raise a baby together. That's your mama responsibility and your grandma responsibility. And his mother and father, y'all, he make them work, but it ain't yours.
Father got involved. And I'm the only girl. And when I tell you the definition of a daddy's girl, that was me. My father was not playing none of that. My father was like, you're not going to impregnate my daughter. She's only 12. And now you talking about you want to raise a baby with her? All I know is my dad hired a private investigator. And it went downhill from there. Okay, y'all. So part 14. So like I said, my dad hired a private investigator. And at this point, I'm being homeschooled. So that was the second semester of my 6th grade year. So the private investigator comes to my house and introducing himself. And he lets me know, like, yeah, I spoke with your father in New York and he told me about the situation. Now he's wanting me to elaborate. Now the private investigator is telling me how it all works, so whatever the case may be. Then he goes and showed me pictures. And now the pictures he showed me was of my daughter's dad and some other boys and even his brother. So now the private investigator is like, okay, so your dad told me the situation. I need you to let me know which one of these are the people that you slept with. And I'm like, and if I tell you, is he going to get in trouble? He was like, no, he's not going to get in trouble, but you should still tell the truth. I was hesitant, but I was like, it's the private investigator. So I picked his picture to let him know. Part 15. So the private investigator took the notes down and then left my house. I want to say it was like a week or two later. My mother gets a call from his parents, I want to say, saying that police just went to the school and they arrested him. So now here I am again in love with this boy, crying like, no, like, what did my dad do? He done messed up my chances of being with him. It was a lot. And then my mother was like, okay, I need to call your father so we can see what's the plan. So now the private investigator is, talking to my mom, talking to me, and talking to my dad. And they let us know, like, okay, we did arrest him. And I want to say he was like in 10th or 11th grade. 11th. And this whole time we're still in communication with the PI. And did I mention it had to be like a few weeks before my due date? Part 16. So now here he is arrested. And of course, I'm pregnant as hell. And prior to this, my mother had conversated with my dad. Y'all, when I tell y'all this, please don't go in. I did not want him to be in jail. My mother also did not want him to be in jail. My mother was like, at the end of the day, he was 16 turning 17 when we were sexually active. But he was already 17 when we found out I was pregnant. And she was like, he cannot do nothing for his child behind bars. So why are we locking him up? And then because he was 17, my mother was like, he's also a child. She did not agree with what he did. But taking him out his child's life was not sitting well with her. So again, a few weeks before I gave birth, my mother did help him with posting money to his bail. Now, he may say otherwise, but my mother did help. And then, of course, y'all, he got out. And now it's getting close to part 17. So now he gets out of jail. And when he gets out of jail, it's about the time for me to go into labor. So now I'm in labor. And it's his aunt, my mom, and then one of my friend's mom was there. My friend's mom didn't stay, but it was just my mom and his aunt. So now it's time to push. My mom's holding my leg on one side. His aunt's holding my leg on the other side. So I done pushed my baby out after being snipped.
What she said? What?
We're in a commercial. I'm coming.
Oh.
The cut the umbilical cord. My mom's holding my leg on one side. His aunt's holding my leg on the other side. So I done pushed my baby out after being snipped down there because I was too small. And then, of course, my mother cut the umbilical cord. Now, y'all, remember I said he went to jail. His charges were criminal sexual conduct with minors, 2nd degree. Being though that my father pressed charges on him, we could not be in the same room and could not see each other. So while I was delivering my baby, he was not there. But he did come up to the hospital after I gave birth. Again, we could not see each other, so they had to close the curtain. Now, here's the part where I made the decision to keep my baby. Because, of course, I didn't talk about 18. So after he comes to the hospital and he sees my baby, I decided to keep my baby. Now, I didn't decide to keep my baby because he was there. I had decided to keep my baby while I was pushing and my mom cut the umbilical cord and they put my baby on me. I just couldn't fathom the thought of me carrying a child for 9 months and then giving her up for adoption after I done gave her life. And of course, I was just so emotional. So I told my mom, I said, Mom, I can't do it. I want to keep my baby.
Now, I won't say disgraceful, but I would say it's a shame. If this wasn't like normal, I would say disgraceful. If she was hot in the ass, I would say, yeah, she was young. And that older boy liked little girls. And he took advantage. It's disgraceful on the boy's behalf, yeah. On a boy's behalf, it's disgraceful. He was already in 11th grade when he was with this girl.
In the 4th grade.
What do you want? Why you come jumping up here?
With the cat.
Yeah, is this one the cat? You can tell which one it is, right? Right. So she just got caught out there. She just got caught out there. No, the mother and them spoke to her. They talked to her. What happened is she got older brothers. What happened is that he's one of you. They didn't probably pay it too much mind because at that age they could say, okay, you could call them cousins. So they probably was calling each other cousins, but they're not really cousins. But you know how when somebody get with somebody in the family, they'll be, that's my cousin from my aunt's side, So even though they're not blood related, so that's probably how they was looking at it when the daughter was coming through. I mean, when he was coming over to the house, because it wasn't like he was there and they just left him there. No, and they was creeping. They was creeping. You can't stop nobody from doing nothing, especially when they hear the word "you pretty." And I tell you guys that all the time. When these guys start telling you, I see it every day. I tell you, the girls start off with their shirts all the way down. The biggest shirt the first day they come there. Then next the shirt go up, up, and up. Next got the little knot in the back. And you see their little belly button. Well, we're not going to say molestation because he's still not 18. At that time, he was 17, 16. He was 16. He's still way older than her. She's still 10, though. He still got this little girl by 7 years. But under the law, they're both still minors. It's crazy. But like I said, if this was, if we didn't hear plenty of stories and see with our own eyes plenty of stories like this, then I can be like, wow. But it happens. It happens. It happens a lot. It happens a lot. It's just that when we start noticing it more, is when the girl is 15 and knocked up, or when she's 16 and knocked up. When she's 17, it's not too bad because she almost be 18 and whatever. We don't like it, but we know of a lot of 17-year-olds that get knocked up, 16 and 17-year-olds. It's just that when you're 16, when you like 10, at this point she's 12, right? So when you're 12, 13, and 14, it's like a shocker. And the father couldn't be that much of that's a daddy's girl. You ain't see that girl getting big like everybody else did. Where were you? Now you want to call a PI? Now you want to call a PI, right? Mm-hmm.
She was like, that's a hard pill to swallow, but it was my decision because I'm the mother. So now it comes to the part where we're naming the baby. Again, he wasn't there. He had to leave because we couldn't see each other, and his peoples wasn't there after that. It was just me and my mom. But his people wanted to know if I was giving my child their last name. I was thinking, for what? What do I need to give her y'all last name for? So I told my mom to tell them she's not getting their last name and she was getting my last name. And again, I'm 12. Y'all, this is part 19. So like I said, I did not give my child their last name. So I came up with my baby's name. I named her myself. I gave her my maiden name and all. I wasn't no stupid little girl now. About my baby, no. She not just
Yeah, you wasn't smart. You should have took that last name. That's her last name. I don't get what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by you wasn't stupid. No, yeah, sort of, kind of. Yes, you was, baby. But you when you older and you tell the story, you make yourself sound smarter than what you are. When in reality, you're what is this? 12? You're 12. You're 12. You're 12. That last name belongs to you. His last name belongs to your daughter. At least they asked. You should have wanted it anyway. But we'll finish with this story.
About to have her dad's last name just because you done helped me made her. Now I'm like, you got to show me why she needs your last name. Remember earlier when I was like, he wanted me to keep her? So now she's kept. So now, it's a few days in the hospital. They calling up, they're trying to check on her or whatever the case may be. We tell them she's doing fine. And then, of course, a few days go by and then they discharge me. So now here I am, just gave birth, 12 years old, recovering because I got stitches down there. And now his family and everybody want to come down to my house to see the baby. Of course, me being me, I didn't have no problems because I'm like, that's her side of the family too. So, of course, they can come see her.
I couldn't even wrap my head around all this at 12. Yeah. And then she said she was a tomboy. She stopped being a tomboy really quick. Real quick. Okay, where you at now?
She left out. I want to know how, cause she said she was a tomboy, but apparently she had some kind of behavioral problem for the
She
mama to
said
want
she
to.
got the itch, right? She
Yeah, what was you?
said
When
she
did
had
you
an
get that
itch.
itch? When did you get the itch?
Exactly.
Uh,
Everybody else is doing that. I got the itch. Okay.
One of after birth. So now, y'all, again, remember I told y'all I brought my baby home and all. And his family wanted to see her. So me, again, like I told y'all, I would never stop my daughter and her people from seeing each other. So of course I told my mom it's okay. I don't feel no way if they come see her. So now his cousins and his mama and his daddy come. And his mama just doing the most and examining my baby. So I'm looking at her and looking at my mom and I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, what is she doing? Like she was holding my child as if the child wasn't a child. Like she was just like giving my baby the side eye and all. So then she was like, "Oh, well, we need to talk to you about something." And my mother's like, "Okay, what do we need to talk about?" So she was like, "Well, my son had pulled me into the side and told me a few things, and I just want to run it by you real quick." Part two. Whoop, there it is. Part two. So now this heifer goes and tell my mom, "Well, I had a talk with my son, and he don't think the baby his. I
wow.
don't
What?
think it's his either."
Ain't
And my
that?
mother's like, "What are you
Yep.
talking about?
Mm-hmm.
How can you come up with this conclusion? Tell me why." "Well, he told me some things happened over the summer and he just don't think that that's his baby." My mother's like, "Elaborate on what you're talking about." She was like, "Well, we not going to go into details, but he did let me know that he only was sexually active with your daughter one time."
Oh,
My
Oh,
mother was like, "And you really
bastard.
believe that?" And she was like, "Well, I trust my son and I know that he wouldn't lie to me. And if he said he was only having sex with her one time, then we need to do a DNA test." So now they're requesting the DNA test. Part three. That's what I'm saying. So now her and my mama get to arguing. And 12 or not, ain't nobody gonna disrespect my mama, whether me and my mama talk or not. Ain't nobody gonna disrespect her. So I jump in the argument. And I'm like, what do you mean he told you we only have sex one time? Your son took my virginity. So she get to saying that's not what he said.
You don't
And
want
we
to
need a
have his
DNA
ass in
test.
jail.
Until the DNA test is proven, basically they're not gonna do nothing for the child. So now here I am, pissed because him and his family's there. He's not saying nothing at all. And I'm just standing here like, you really about to sit around here and let your mama say all this, and you're really like,
Yep, that's because number one, his ass don't want to go to jail, and now, as usual, as up until the same standards we have today, is always the girl's fault. Now she hot. She wasn't hot at 10 years old. You knew for a fact that little girl was 10 years old. I would have been arguing with nobody. I've been swinging. I'm telling you.
Okay, trying to switch to his mama need. I would have whooped her.
I know you.
Lord. Mm. I'd have gave her a test, all right. It wouldn't have been the test that she wanted.
Now all of a sudden, they trying to make her as a fast. No, she wasn't fast at 10 years old, and you know she wasn't. You knew you had a future, but then okay, you want a DNA? Okay, fine. Okay, but just the fact that you don't want to go to jail because when they had sex, he was still considered a minor. So he would not be going to jail. But if he got her knocked up, that means he continued after his birthday came. And then that case may stick. So they worrying about his ass not going to jail. But being that you want to get the DNA, that's still no problem. Let's go right ahead. And she's still, not the minor, she's still 12. She's still 12. Well, how much screwing do you think she was doing between 10 and 12?
Exactly.
And she started messing with him. She was 11. She started having intercourse with this man at 11. Mothers, not us, because we smarter than that. Mothers, stop. I know, stop saving your sons. Stop it. That's why some of these boys is not, some of these men ain't they're a piece of ish. Their mama keeps saving them. Stop it.
lying to her. So now me and him get to arguing. So now that me and him get to arguing, he's like, oh, you know, it was only one time. You need to tell the truth because I'm in big trouble because of this. As if I forced you to have sex with me, sir. Part 4. So now I'm like, you know we had sex. We had sex numerous times. Why are you lying to your mom? So now at this point, he's just denying everything. Damn. So of course I'm pissed. I tell my mom they need to go. They can't be. I don't want them around my baby. But again, y'all, I keep telling y'all I'm not the type to keep my child from her people. So now a few days go by and his mother calls my mom and wanted to apologize, which it was all BS, but she wanted to apologize. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, she apologized. I'll let my baby go over there. So now I wanted to go swimming with my friends in the neighborhood. And I didn't have nobody to watch my baby because my mom was at work and my aunt, she wasn't about to watch my baby at that moment. So now the mom was like, well, I'll watch my baby, my grandbaby. I'll go ahead and watch her. So out of the blue, I'm like, why she want to watch my baby? But then again, that's her granddaughter. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I bring my baby to her house. Okay, y'all, I got 5. So of course I dropped my baby off and I walked up the road, which where the pool was. And a few hours go by and I want to go home. So I go get my baby. And when I pick up my baby, she's acting like everything's normal. Like, oh my goodness, she did so good. This and the third. So in my head, I'm asking like, why the hell is she telling me my baby did good as if she's a toddler, she gonna make mess? I ain't asked you that. So I went home and I told my mom, because my mom didn't even know that I dropped my baby off down to their house. So now my mother's home and she was like, where you coming from? And I was like, oh, I was at my friend's house and I dropped, my baby off to her people's house. And I was at the pool. And my mother was like, why you didn't call me to let me know that you was dropping her off over there? And I was like, well, Mom, that's her people's too. And I needed somebody to watch her while I want to go to the pool. Mom was like, they ain't got no damn sense. And they better not have done nothing to my grandbaby. Not putting two and two together, I'm like, okay, what is she talking about? Okay, y'all, about to post part 6.
Yes, I got the next one ready.
Goes and tell.
I'm glad my son don't have a girlfriend. He is so a mama boy. I'm glad my eyes don't have one neither. But I'm the one gonna push him to the girls, so he they take him right off from me. You could have. Where we at now, guys? Where we at? Where we at? Where we at?
Maybe go over there regularly so that way she can spend time with her dad and his people. And it's still not sitting well with my mama that I'm letting her go over there. So now we go by a few weeks and I decide that one day I'm not gonna let my baby stay over there. So I went to go pick up my baby. And his mom was like, Kiara, when you get the chance, have your mom call me. So I'm like, okay, my mom don't fool with them anyway, so whatever, I'll tell her. So I pick up my baby, go home, and I'm with my mom and I tell her. So my mom and her end up conversating. And she was like, well, I told Kiara that I wanted to talk to you because we have some things to discuss. And my mom was like, basically, here we go again. What y'all have up y'all sleeve now? She was like, well, I appreciate you letting us spend time with the baby. Okay, I'm running out of time, part 7. Okay, part 7. So she's doing this whole spiel about how she appreciate us letting my baby go over to her house and let them spend time together. But now she's starting to be with the BS because you can hear it in her voice. So she goes and say, well, while we were babysitting, my daughter, I decided to take it upon myself and purchase an at-home DNA test. And I knew it wasn't right, but we did swab her mouth and swab his mouth also. And the results just came back in, and it's not sitting right with me. So my mother's like, okay, so now I'm about to get on y'all. Okay. So she said, okay, so y'all done did all of this, basically trying to make it seem like y'all care. What did the results say? She said, well, the results said that he is not the father of the baby.
Oh,
okay,
shit.
Right. Okay, so now at this moment, I am pissed. Because I'm like, who gave y'all permission to swab my child's mouth? 12 or not, you still need my permission to swab my baby's mouth. So in my head, I'm like, yo.
Hey, brown girl Bella, how you been, baby?
Lady is doing this. So my mother's like, why would you do that? Now, in the state of South Carolina, technically, my mother has custody of me and my daughter.
Correct.
So even if I didn't give consent, if my mother would have gave consent, it would have been fine. But again, the heifer did not get no consent from nobody.
The heifer.
So now I'm like, so you're basically calling me a hoe. And she's like, well, the test results say that's not his child. So we need to figure out what's going to happen now. Basically saying, how is there proof that we slept together? So I called her bluff. I said, if it's not his, let me see the test results. Y'all, I got to finish this in part 9, okay? Okay, y'all, part 9. So now, again, I done asked her, let me see the test. She could not provide the test. She had every excuse in the book why I could not see the test. So I'm like, if you got a test and it's not his, but you won't show me the test, how do I know you're not lying? Now, y'all know how older people is. And when I mean older people, I mean like my mama's age and older. They're stuck in their ways. So they feel like they can't do nothing wrong. You can't check them about nothing, none of that. So she's like, she don't need to lie. She don't need to lie to no child, especially not one that's accusing her son of being the father of their child. Now, again, his big, tall, goofy behind just standing there not saying nothing. So at this moment, I know I'm really dealing with a mama's boy. And I'm like, bro, you really gonna sit here and let this lady say that this is not your child? If she can't provide me with results, you provide me with the results since you're my baby daddy. Okay, part 10. So now at this point, I'm just like, you are not what I thought you would be. Like, I really cannot believe, like, you took my virginity and you're not telling the truth at all. So his mother has the audacity to say, well, maybe my cousin is my baby daddy. Yeah, y'all heard that right. She said maybe my cousin is my baby daddy. She went from saying maybe my cousin is my baby daddy to maybe it being my mom's boyfriend at the time. But all she knew, like she said, all she knew was it was not her son's child. So now, y'all, I am ashamed. I'm embarrassed. I'm like, now people really are going to think that I'm out here sleeping with everybody, and I'm not. And throughout all of this, I was still in love with this boy. But my cousin, though, really? My cousin? And technically my stepdad? Like, come on now. So now after she done accused me of sleeping with my cousin and my stepdad, I'm like literally like going crazy, trying to commit suicide, all of this. And of course, my mother being an alcoholic, it wasn't helping. This is when my dad stepped in. So the night that my dad stepped in is when I attempted to run away with my baby. Now here I am trying to run away with my baby at 12 years old, and she's like 3 months old now. But of course, me running away wasn't successful because my baby daddy's brother caught me running away and brought me back home. So now my mom told my dad that I was trying to run away, and he was like, basically, I'm going to take my daughter from you. So she's coming up to New York. So now they're saying I can't take my baby up north, even though they're denying my child. My mom is not wanting me to leave. And at this point, all I want to do is like literally leave the face of the earth. So again, I try to commit suicide again. Okay, part 12. So now my mom and my dad is going back and forth. Of course, it's about me because now I done have my baby. Now his family is trying me, well, his mother specifically. My mama is drinking and I'm trying to commit suicide. So now my dad has a plan to where he's going to get me to come back to New York. So if, I want to say like 2 weeks went by and my dad ended up buying me a ticket for me and my baby. My mother was like, I don't care if you buy the ticket. She's not going. But my dad was like, you basically not about to tell me what to do with my child. So in the midst of my mother being drunk, passed out drunk, I ended up packing all my stuff while she was passed out drunk. And at the time, my aunt was married and her husband helped me, pack up my stuff in the car and board the plane to New York. So again, while my mother's passed out drunk, I end up leaving to go to New York. Part 13. So now here I am in New York with my dad and Miss Piggy, which is his wife, and her kids.
She can't get along with
also
nobody.
lives in New York, and everybody giving me the talk, like basically going in on me that I had a baby at 12. But my dad was just explaining, like, just because you up here, that don't mean anything. Like, we still gonna get this man to go to prison because he done got my daughter pregnant. While we were in New York, my dad did not waste no time. My dad took me to court to drop child support that my mother had on him for me. And then he also ended up getting joint custody of my daughter. So that way he can go ahead and add my daughter to his insurance through his job and also get like all the benefits he needed for my daughter.
Now he won't be.
What I know now that I didn't know back then, my dad is very money hungry. But I'm gonna come back with part 14. So now here I am giving my dad, or going to court to give my dad joint custody of my daughter. And immediately the first thing my dad is saying is like, okay, now that I have joint custody, I can go ahead and get the benefits I need for her. And when I mean benefits, we're like WIC, food stamps, Medicaid, all of that. So now I'm in the house with this man and his wife and her 4 kids. And they're acting like my child is their child. And in my head, I'm thinking to myself, okay, don't be disrespectful because that's your father, but this ain't gonna work. Now at this moment, I'm in New York from July, August, and I was there for about, I want to say until like November, somewhere around there. So I'm asking like, okay, what are we gonna do about her dad? And my dad just like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna handle it. Okay, part 15 coming. Okay, part 15. So now, y'all, mind y'all, I said that I was in New York with my dad, and the whole time while I'm in New York, I'm thinking like it's gonna be good for us, but it wasn't. So my dad did say that he was still going to pursue pressing charges and all of that as far as like taking it to trial now. So my dad is not really giving me no updates. I do know I have like social services coming up to the school still talking to me because they're thinking it's traumatic and I need therapy. So y'all remember when I said my dad was getting benefits for my daughter? I did not know my dad was getting FI for my daughter. So now here I am thinking my dad
What
is
is
going to help me
FI?
and my daughter, but whole time he really only got us to get the FI. And if anybody ever been on welfare, FI is when the government pays you for a child that you have, but then the parent that doesn't have custody of that child has to pay it back. So now at this point, my dad is getting benefits for my daughter as far as money, but he's not really doing nothing for my daughter.
Well, technically he is. Technically he is, young lady, because you're not paying rent.
You know, if we take that wrapper back to the store, it can be recycled.
You're not paying no rent. So what do you mean? You heard what she said, boss lady?
Yeah, I heard what she said, but the daddy is taking care of you and the daughter, so you'll have some place to live. But you don't like it there because you want to do your own thing. Because
Mm-hmm.
you know you got a baby, so you still feeling hot in the ass.
Well, you thought that he was gonna let y'all stay there for free. I mean, you're still staying there, but no, he's right. That baby, he's not
And
money
all the
hungry.
benefits that he got, he went out and got them benefits. That had nothing to do. Oh Lord.
They didn't do that, and if they would have done that, I mean, I would never took him off child support. That's where the father messed up at.
But she was too young to get any benefits anyway, so the father had to go and
But
file for the benefits.
how was he getting child support if they never got the correct DNA? That she's rushing the story again. Cause why they didn't? She wasn't getting child support for him unless he said it was his baby, and we don't even know if he had a job. They gotta let us tell the story for us. She leave out. Maybe I interview her one day. Hopefully she could come on here and fix them little fix.
Yeah, clear up the story because she's skipping.
They said exactly, co-host, right, boss lady.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So she thought she was gonna go to the daddy's house and do what she wanted to do, but she had to go by the daddy's rules and what he was saying. Talking about that they was trying to act like the baby was theirs. Uh, basically the baby was theirs. Just like what is she talking?
Exactly. That part too, because they letting you at that point. That lady have 4 kids,
And
and
if
she
the
didn't.
baby and if the father went and got guardianship, that the baby is his.
And then she didn't say my little sisters and brothers. She said her Miss Piggy. So she called the other lady a heifer. Called this one Miss Piggy. I guess she wasn't liking nobody. I get it though. You still a baby. You still like ain't even 13 years old. Yeah, I get you. I get you. I get you, little mama. I get you. I get you. And thank you for the story. But what she didn't understand is your father didn't go behind your back and do anything. He was doing what parents do. They do what they do. They don't have at the end of the day, I know you wanted to be treated like an adult, but you couldn't be treated like an adult because if they really treated you like an adult, you would be ass out. You still his little girl. You still
You're
his baby.
12. He don't have to answer to you.
Right. And she ain't even 13 yet. She's still 12. I'm not going back and forth with a 12-year-old telling a 12-year-old is my what I want to do, even though that's your baby. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Maybe she understands that now, but she's trying to make like he's too money hungry. I'm like, did you eat? Did your baby want anything? Now I could see she would have said that. Well, my child didn't get this and my child didn't get that, and then not to mind you, the father paid for the what what she was explaining was that her own father had been paying support for her. When he got custody, he no longer had to pay her mother. I can't rewind that part, but
Yeah, that's true. But
That's not what she said. The child
the
support
that's
for the
because the
baby.
mother he was staying. The girl is staying with him now, so now the mama has to pay child support. So they have to switch the custody around as far as the girl.
I have to rewind that part.
I heard it.
I know he said child support, but I don't know if he meant from the. I thought I could have sworn she said from. She stopped the child support the mother had put out for the baby's daddy, not
No,
child support
she
for her.
stopped the child support from that he was paying to her mother, and he started child support from the father.
But either or, that man has done his job, even though he wasn't there because, as you see, they're in two different states. See, and then he ended up with a lady who had 4 kids. So he was being a father the best way he could. And at the end of the day, as a man, he know that man belonged in jail, and they went behind him and got him out of jail.
Her
At the,
mother did that.
yeah, her mother.
Stupid.
At the end of the day, they should let that man take care of that. Because as a man, he know for a fact his baby was 10 years old when she went there. She was 10. She was 10 when she went to South Carolina. But what the father messed up is that when you realize that it was longer than the summer, he could have went and got his own child. And second of all, he like caught a lot. You know you can't take your child if he's paying child support. That's why I say I'm going back on that. Yeah, I get that part. But what I'm saying is, if you would have heard the beginning, when she said they went for the summer and the full year, I don't know how he was still paying child support when he didn't have the mother didn't even have custody of the daughter. The mother was in New York. She went to visit her aunt in South Carolina for the summer, and it turned out to be a full school year.
Yeah, but the mama still had custody.
Yeah, but if the father liked to go to court so much, then why didn't you go to court then? Because you cannot take your child. You can't take somebody's child to another state unless the father give the okay to. So the father had to okay it. So at some point in time, he slipped up too. Like, I don't feel like dealing with this lady, But then again, at some point in time, he slipped up, or maybe he thought that South Carolina would be better for his daughter. She wouldn't be around the mother. Now she could drink and do whatever she want to do, and the aunt house is safe. See, a lot of parts is missing. A lot of parts is missing because she's going. It's like she's got a lot to say. Yeah, I know. No, nope, 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 nope. We got more than 20 parts, baby. We on 16 to 25 now.
Do nothing then. They're not going
Uh-oh.
telling y'all the story is over a course of a year that's happening now that I've been in New York. So now I went back to my grandmother's house, and I've been going back and forth since she's the one watching my baby, her and my aunt. And I tell my grandmothers and my aunt what my dad is doing. Now, y'all, mind you, my dad's wife does not like me at all. And my dad's the type of dad, like, when he's not with anybody, he's good. He's the best dad ever. But when he's with somebody, he let them females dictate what he can and cannot do for his kids. So now my stepmother does not want me in her home no more because she said I got a smart mouth. So my dad ended up taking me to stay with my aunt, and then made a decision that I'm coming back to South Carolina. And this is like a year and a half later. So now at this moment, I'm not living in the house with my dad no more. I'm living with my grandmother and my aunt until it's time to go back to South Carolina. So my aunt, who did live down here but was living in New York, she was moving back to South Carolina. 17.
See, she going
now
too
here
fast.
we are back in South Carolina. My daughter is like a year and a half old at this point, and everybody keep going on about the whole baby daddy situation. Honestly, I let it go because it's like, well, my daughter's about to be 2. They ain't do nothing then. They're not gonna do nothing now. So my mother is still an alcoholic, but she's trying to do what she need to do for us. She ends up calling my baby daddy and his mama. And my mom was like, they're back down here. Y'all need to help take care of, my daughter. My mom was basically saying, like, we either going to come to some common ground for y'all to help take care of her, or we're going to put y'all on child support. Y'all would not believe what the hell his mama said. So his mother ends up telling my mom, the only way they're going to take care of my child is if they get a DNA test. So if you need to put him on child support to do so, by all means, put him on child support. 18. So my mother goes down to the court to file for child support and to get the DNA test done.
So now
she did ask me what did I want to do. I told her I didn't want to file for child support because if he has to be forced to take care of his child, then I don't want him in my daughter's life.
He's a 13-year-old.
Mom was like, no, bump dad.
Thank you.
We gonna get this DNA test and he's gonna pay child support. So now the papers are filed. Now, during this time that the papers were being filed and we had to wait on a court date. Now, during this time, while we're waiting on the papers to process for child support, we end up running into each other.
Yeah,
so now that we bump into each other, I'm trying to let him know, like, listen, so I can go ahead and stop the child support. Just tell your mama the truth, because I don't want you on child support. I just want you to take care of your child. That's it. And I guess because he didn't want to be on child support, he was like, okay, you know,
hey,
you're
real world.
About it. Okay, I'm going to do part 19. Part 19. So now, again, me and him are not supposed to be speaking, but we're speaking secretly. So, like, don't nobody know that we're having conversation.
And you screwing again secretly. Mm-hmm.
So he's secretly letting me know that he's going to take care of his child. He don't want to be on child support, you know, just that and the third.
Yeah, what do you think he's going to say?
So now he's telling me all of this, and I'm just like, now he's speaking my language.
Of course.
And in my head, I'm thinking, this is the reason why I fell in love with this boy, because now he's trying to step up and take care of his responsibility.
Of course. It sounded good at 10, and you're only 13, and it still sounds good at the age 13. You know we got to stop and say something, boss lady.
Oh no, she just don't. She act like she grew up to, she was 18, 17, 18. Girl, you was only 12.
Yeah, she's only 13 now, but, you know, he's speaking her language now. Oh, Lord. You was playing with Barbies. Please, I was beating the little boys up at 12. Shoot, don't come next to me. No. Nope.
And then, see, I had older brothers and cousins and stuff. I wish a dude, 17 would try to come up and talk to me. He finna get beat up. With my older brother and my older cousins, you know, they wouldn't allow not even to be around. What are you doing being around her?
No, she snuck it really good though. Now, if you was a sneaky child, that's how that didn't happen. She was creeping. They didn't allow it.
She kept that secret.
And at that point, she knocked up already. What they gonna do? The father did the only thing that was to do. That was right. Is put his ass behind the bars. Her baby daddy was 17 at the time. She was 12 when she got knocked up. He was 17, turning 18.
She got knocked up at 11, had a baby at 12.
Right. But the question is, how far was the baby daddy 6? He was 16, he was 17. So I don't know, but even how you put it, he's 18. He's still grown. The father is still grown at this moment, real world. The father's still grown. This girl talks so fast and I have to scramble up what she's saying. She's like, she talks with the rhythm. So hopefully y'all guys is enjoying this story here. All right, let's finish with the unbelievable. It's believable. Kids these days shaking my head. New world. Like not our grandmamas had their first kids at 12 too now. 12 and 13 years old. But it wasn't no TV and stuff back then. It was different. But age is still the same.
Now again, y'all, we're still waiting to go to court because my mother still wasn't dropping the child support. So now here it is, me and him was just constantly talking. And in the midst of us texting each other, now we're texting each other like, I miss you, and I'm upset that all this stuff happened. What we gonna do? Now the whole time we're talking, he has another baby mama. I specifically asked them where they're together.
Oh, another baby mama. Holy shit. I didn't see that one. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know it was coming that soon. Oh my
When
God.
did he get another baby?
Oh, did he? Oh shit.
See, because she missed that whole. When did he get another baby mama? Because she said the whole time. What whole time?
You know, you see how fast she said it?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me see what part we at right now so I can get the next one ready. Okay.
I'm upset that all this stuff happened. What we gonna do? Now the whole time we're talking, he has another baby mama. I specifically asked him where they're together, and of course he lied to me. No, we're not. Okay, part 20. So now here he is sneaking down to my aunt's house to put my baby to sleep all the time. And then we used to just sit and talk, and he used to ask me like, did I ever miss him and all this stuff like that. And at the time I'm 14. So now, since he's sneaking down there, don't nobody know that he's coming to the house. So as we're talking, he's getting to let me know, like, you know, I missed you too, and he's sorry all this stuff happened the way it did, or whatever the case may be. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, don't even fall for it. Even though you missed this boy, don't fall for it.
But you did.
At all, because y'all not even supposed to be talking. Y'all not supposed to be communicating. Don't do nothing like that. Keep yourself together. And what did I end up doing? This boy done talked me out my drawers again. So y'all remember when I told y'all I was 14?
We do it, baby.
He was 20, turning 21. So now here we are. Now we done slept together. Okay, part 21. So now here it go. Days gone by, and every single day we're having sexual relations with each other. So this is not just like a one-time thing.
Here come baby number 2.
And when I was telling y'all that he was coming to put my baby to sleep, that's the excuse that we were using so he can be down there. But my baby was already asleep before he even came down there. So my baby didn't even get a chance to see him at all.
Here come baby number 2. Can we hear the word baby number 2?
You.
Here come
She's
baby
not
number
working
2.
on number 2.
Here come number 2. They like, why they saying 2 like that? Because we have a whole different language up in here. All right, here we go.
So now every day we were texting each other around a certain time each day. And then when he was coming down to the house, when people were aware that he was coming down to the house, we weren't communicating. So we acted like we didn't even see each other. So it was one day he had brought his baby mama down to the house. And in my head, I'm thinking, okay, why bring her down to the house if you say y'all not together? So I did ask him again what the situation was between them. And y'all know how they do. They love to lie. Part 22 coming. Okay, part 22. So I already know he was already lying about who the girl was. I done seen them before, you know, on Facebook and stuff like that. So I knew they were together. So I wanted him to come clean, but I knew they were together.
She got a wedding ring on.
So now he's letting me know, like, we basically got to keep this under wraps. Like, we can't tell nobody about this. Of course, he didn't want it to get out, because if it got out and my family would have found out, he would be in prison at this point. So now, again, y'all, we're continuing to have sexual relations with each other. So this is not just a one-time thing. This was more than once. More than, I can't even count on one hand. And we're still waiting on the paperwork to come in so that way we can go ahead and get a DNA test done. So whole time we're sleeping together, but we don't have no type of DNA test. We're waiting to go to court and all. So now here is when stuff went all the way left. When I mean all the way left, all the way left. Did y'all miss me?
Yeah, we missed
you. Part 23. So now I told y'all it took a turn for the worse. It went left. So now fast forward a few days. He see me in the car with my friends, and his baby mama was with him. They were walking. He came up to the car, and I wasn't really paying him no mind, but I'm like, what the fuck is going on? He comes to the car and was like, he was going to beat my butt, and I was all types of B's and all this stuff like that. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what the hell is going on? Why is this boy doing this? Like, we wasn't just having sex, you know, Like, sir, don't act brand new. So after all that hoorah,
he gotta go to
my
court
friends
now.
drove me down to my house because, of course, my family was down there. And I'm telling my family, like, he basically just ran up on me. Now, here I am, little 14-year-old me. This man just ran up on me. So, again, not understanding why he's doing the most. Okay, y'all, part 24 coming. Okay, part 24. So now after I done got dropped off at home and I told my whole family what was going on, y'all, my family's Haitian, so they're crazy. So they're like, okay, if he really want a problem, he can come down here and get all this smoke. Like, it's nothing. Him, his mama, his girlfriend, his daddy, everybody. My grandmother was down here also, so she was like, Kiki, don't even worry about it. If this man touch you, he gonna have a lot of problems on his hands, so don't even worry about it. So me not understanding what was going on, like literally, I did not understand why he was upset. Again, I done forgot all about like that we done filed everything for the DNA test. I thought that was not gonna happen for like a year or so after. My aunt, again, who was married into that family, she found out that the judge or the lawyers, whoever, sent a civil suit to him. So he received a civil suit in the mail. And I'm guessing his mama didn't tell him that my mom was putting him on child support. So now that means extra lawyer fees. Okay, part 25. So now here it is that he done got the civil suit and we have a court date. So now fast forward to going to court. Of course, the people in the court now, is verifying our information and they got a, date of birth and all that, especially with my daughter. So they swab my mouth, they swab my daughter's mouth, then they swab his mouth. He's shaking his head as if he don't know why his mouth being swabbed. In my head, I'm like, thank your mother for this. You allowed your mother to say that this is not your child. So now you got to go through all of this. So my mother is in there and she's asking questions like, okay, when will we find out the results and all the stuff like that? They told her it can take 4 to 6 weeks to come back. So they're asking, like, do we have any other questions? And I'm just like, no, I'm just waiting on the results to come back. So now we walking out the office and I'm getting the stank face from him and his people. Like, just looking at me and my mom like we did something to them. So now here it is after us taking a DNA test. I'm not.
Oh Lord, I don't know where it's at.
I'm.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
Him because now, I'm having flashbacks. Like, I'm really, really fooling around with somebody that denied my baby. And yes, I understand I'm 14, but seriously. So now weeks gone by and we haven't spoke. We haven't had any sexual relations. We haven't done none of that. So then August 18th, me coming home from outside with my friends, my mother was like, you got some mail from the court. So I'm like, okay, open it. Let's see what it says. So she started reading the letter. She was like, nope, I'm going to let you read it. So I'm reading the letter and it says basically that 99.9% chance that he is the father. So now here I am doing backflips because I'm like, now that damn family can leave me the hell alone and start taking care of my baby. Mind y'all, my baby is already 2, okay? You know what happened next, right? A damn call from his mama. Okay, y'all, part 27. Y'all know I had to work, so I am so sorry for being late. But anyways, his mama then, yes, she called my mama wanting to meet and I guess talk about the results. After she done lied and said she took a DNA test of my baby, and now all of a sudden she want to talk about the results that I already knew was anyway. So now here we are sitting in the living room, me, her, my mom, my aunt, and then of course him. And I want to say his dad was there also. So she goes and say, yeah, we got the results, this, that, and the third, and she glad that we got the results. And she thought I left to go to New York because I had something to hide. And I'm like, what do I have to hide? No, I left.
So first of all, the baby's 2. So how old is the other little one?
She skipped all that.
Because now he's now 18 with 2 kids. He got 2 kids, and I don't know, but I think another one is on the way. I think another one is on the way.
Left because y'all were literally trying to embarrass me. I was 12 and y'all tried to embarrass me. So of course I ran out the room crying because now y'all want to acknowledge my baby. And literally I'm thinking to myself, like, it's too damn late. It's 2 years. So get the fuck on. Part 28. Okay, y'all, part 28. So after the meeting, I literally ran out the room crying because I'm baffled at the simple fact that it literally took y'all literally 2 years for a piece of paper to say that that was y'all blood. I didn't get no type of apology from them. None of that. So basically, y'all was calling me all types of hoes and bees and denying my baby. And I did not get no apology after y'all found out that that was y'all child or that was y'all blood. So they left, and my aunt and my mom was talking to me like, I understand if you feel like, you know, you want to continue this whole situation, you can. But it's basically ultimately up to me. We can wait on a court date. But if you want to start letting her go over there, you can. I'm not a bitter baby mama, as he would call me, but I let my daughter go over there.
So they still don't get along.
Over there. So she started to go over there even before the court dates of everything. Okay, part 29. So again, I was letting my baby go over there even before the court date happened. Now, this court date is for him to pay child support so that they determine the amount that he was paying as well as what his visitations were. I was already letting him get my baby on the weekends, even sometimes throughout the week. If you want to see her, go ahead. I'm not that, again, bitter baby mama. I don't care about that. Sometimes I needed a break. So now we get to the court and the mediator is basically explaining everything to me. But of course, my mom is there because I am still a minor. And he's there by himself. So they're asking me, did I have any questions? And I'm just like, no, I don't have any questions. But he is supposed to be getting weekends, correct? And they was like, yeah, just clarifying it. He is supposed to get weekends. So I did explain to them that he's already been getting weekends. So they were like, that's good that you're already starting to let him get your daughter. So now we go about the child support and he's agreeing to the amount that they're telling him to pay. Okay, I'm coming back to 30 before I go in the store. So after they tell him about the amount of child support he's supposed to be paying, they started to mention the FI. So the FI from when I was in New York, as well as the FI from when my mom was getting it while we were in South Carolina. So his face is getting big because it's like, damn, I really got to pay child support as well as paying the government back. If anybody know how FI work and when you actually have the father paying child support, you know that whatever the father gets or whatever the father pays, a portion of that goes to the state to pay back what they gave you. And then,
hold on, Ms. Rye, her father did. Her father in New York. The father had him in jail. Her mother helped to get him out of jail. But his ass was in jail. Her father did do it. Her father wasn't playing. Then the father was going to keep him in jail until she didn't know how to act right and act like a kid at the father's house. And then the mother, his girlfriend, the father's girlfriend, got tired of her being so sassy after she already admitted that they was treating her baby like the baby was theirs, which means the lady did like you and she took you in and treated your child like hers. Right or wrong? I'm correct, Miss Boss Lady?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So,
yes.
Yeah, Miss Bride came a little bit late because that girl talked so fast. I got to make sure.
Is that the rain?
No, not this time. That's my son beating ice.
Oh.
and the rest goes to you. Again, I wasn't too big on child support. I'm still not a fan of child support, but you allowed your mama to get in our business. So I can tell that he a little upset because he got to pay everything back. But I'm like, hey, that ain't my fault. That's yours. So now we get to the end of the meeting. He walks out, don't say nothing. Okay, part 31 coming. Okay, y'all, I'm finally out the store. No, I'm just playing. I was doing nail orders. I am so sorry, but part 31. So after we left the court, a few days go by. They're getting my daughter, like picking her up from school or whatever the case may be. I'm still not communicating with him at this moment. I'm just communicating through the baby mama, which is his girlfriend. One day he come to pick up my daughter from the actual house, and I was there, not by myself, but basically by myself. And the fool basically gonna ask me why I had to get the court involved. I'm like, dude, your mother told my mother, in order for y'all to start taking care of my baby, I might as well put you on child support. So that's exactly what my mother did, was put you on child support. Now, this is where he go with the name calling, talking about I'm flawed and all that stuff like that. I'm like, that's not my fault. That's your fault. Had you kept your damn mama out of our business, you wouldn't be going through this. And that's exactly what I told him. So at this point, I'm telling him it's best that we don't even communicate. And that was the beginning of part 32. So as I was saying, this was like in 2013, but more so the beginning of 2013. So now at this moment, he's, I guess, paying child support regularly. I'm not seeing it. I want to say my aunt and my mom was getting it, but I'm not seeing it. Now, it was a struggle getting my daughter to start going around them because, again, she did not know them like that. And also, y'all, during this time, I had been stopped messing with him. So 2012 was the actual last time I stopped physically fooling with this man. 2013 is when I stopped talking to him. I like completely cut him off. I didn't even care if he needed to pick up my daughter. I'll talk to your baby mama or your daddy. That's it. And plus, another reason why I cut him off is because he literally tried to fight my mama. Like, what dude tries to fight a whole female, a grown female on top of that? And with all those chain of events happening, I was just like, bro, I'm done with you. I want to drop the child support, literally cut him completely out of our lives. Part 33 coming. Okay, part 33, y'all. So now at this point, in 2013, I'm 15. I done got my first job and all. So I'm really not worried about, I'm really not worried about them paying for anything for my baby, child support, none of that. Now, here's the damn plot twist. Now, this is the year where this man, I guess because he started paying child support for real, again, I'm not seeing it, but he started to feel entitled as if he could tell me what to do with my child. And I keep throwing in his face like, sir, you're only taking care of my baby by force, not by choice. So you don't tell me what to do with my child. Now, at this point, I had a boyfriend. And he was basically telling me, like, my boyfriend can't be around my daughter, all types of BS. And I'm like, but isn't your baby mama around my daughter and I don't have no issues?
Kraft mac and cheese. It's the easiest because
here he come with the disrespectfulness. Part 34 coming. Part 34. So now, like I said, he's being real disrespectful, calling me all out my name. I mean, all out my name, talking about how I was a little hoe and I gave it up easy and this, that, and the third. Y'all, it was crazy. So I hit him with but you're a rapist though, and you're a registered sex offender. So if I was a hoe and I only lost my virginity to you and I was only having sex with you, and you end up becoming a registered sex offender, you're a rapist. Oh, y'all, he ain't like that. So now he said he was going to beat my butt.
Thanks to your father.
F me up, like going in. And I'm like, sir, you better realize I may be 15, but ain't nobody scared of you. I know who you are, where you live, your social, your date of birth, all of that. So you touch me, I'm calling your parole officer. Oh, and that set him through the roof. Part 35. Okay, part 35, y'all. So all of this arguing is going out throughout 2013. All through 2013, all we've been doing is arguing. Well, really, he's been arguing with himself because I'm not paying him no mind. So this is the time that I actually finally made a decision, like, to completely block him, cut him off, stop talking to him, doing all of that. I did not want nothing to do with this man. So now I decide to not communicate with his baby mama, like just cut them off. And now I'm communicating through the dad. Now, the dad has been neutral in all of this, to be honest. When they were denying my baby, the dad was like, no, I know this is my granddaughter. But I guess because that was his wife, he wasn't really saying much. But again, he's been pretty neutral. So I will always speak to his dad, and his dad will always say, well, whatever y'all need for Zyla, just let me know. And in my head, at 15, I'm like, I shouldn't have to talk to y'all. I wasn't sleeping with y'all, so I shouldn't have to talk to you. And y'all know the mama always got something to say. Part 36 coming. So now we're fast forwarding a little bit through the year. It comes my daughter's birthday. Now I reach out to them asking, like, okay, what are we doing for her birthday? What are y'all input in, whatever the case may be? Not a damn thing. Now, this is my daughter's third birthday, y'all. So they already
12,
missed
13,
birthday
14,
1
15.
and birthday 2. So again, y'all, 2 birthdays they already missed. So no help for my daughter's birthday. If anybody was in South Carolina at the time when they had Monkey Joe's, we had my daughter's birthday at Monkey Joe's. And I went all out. 2-tiered cakes, cupcakes, birthday party at schools, all of that. Basically, I got bashed by him saying that I was doing too much. And I'm like, I'm doing too much because you couldn't help me with my daughter's birthday? Not that I needed help, but I'm trying to include you in something. It's like you just not giving a damn at this point. So we get to arguing about that. I promise y'all about to get part 37. So yeah, like it was just basically we're just arguing about stupid stuff. Like the simple fact that I'm doing the most for my daughter's birthday. People who know me know like my daughter means everything to me. My mom did the same thing when we were very, very younger, where she went all out, used to throw us these extravagant birthday parties. And I just wanted to do the same for my baby. But I truly feel like it was because I wasn't paying him no mind. Like I done moved on. Like I wasn't stressing him. I wasn't doing none of that. So again, y'all, all through 2013, I wasn't really speaking to him. And in the end of 2013, we came on some type of common ground. So at this point, we were very cordial. Now we get into 2014. This is the year that I met my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knew I was talking to her. And he just had so much to say. Like he's trying to give me advice on dating somebody else, but he was. So now it's 2014, and he found out.
A moment. Oh, this girl like that. Damn these men forever. You heard me say she had a wedding ring on, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she just threw that in there.
Carolyn said, my.
She did not even say anything about that. That she was talking to a girl, had feelings for a woman.
He traumatized. No, she liked men, but she was traumatized.
She sure didn't put that in all these 1, 2, 300 stories.
But that's because she only could do but so much on TikTok, I guess. So
I don't care. She could have said she had a wife a long time ago.
Then she's gonna mess up the story time. She probably liked the girls now, but she didn't like girls then because by 10 years old, by 9 and 10, you would know if you like a wife. What the hell? Yeah, real world. So you could tell that she didn't like women then because then she wouldn't have had her eye on that boy and she wouldn't have needed an itch. She'd been playing with little girls. She was busy playing with little boys. So he traumatized her to the point she was like, F this. But she's traumatized. And then remember she tried suicide twice.
Right.
So, I can feel what, she's going through because for her not to be 16 years old, it's like, oh my God, it's like calling me out my name. All hate with that he didn't do, he traumatized the shit out of her. So she's scared of, she ain't dealing with no more men. The hell with that. But I'm gonna rewind that part for you a little bit so we will be shocked again, right?
But so now it's 2014 and he found out that I'm talking to who is now my wife. And this man just, I don't even know what to call it. He's trying to give me advice on dating a female, but I'm like, sir, weren't we sexually active with each other when you supposedly wasn't with that girl and y'all together? I'm just confused. So now he's making an even bigger deal. about who can be around my child. And during this time, I was still staying with my aunt. So from 2012 all the way now to this 2014 point, I'm staying with my aunt. I'm still allowing my child to go with her dad and his peoples. But I just never understood why he was so intrigued by my business when he had his own business. I think he didn't understand, like, sir, I don't care for you at all. Part 39 is about to come up, y'all. Part 39, y'all. So now, again, remember I told y'all there was court documents or basically like a arrangement to where he gets her on the weekend. But now it's starting to slack off. So I'm not really pushing my daughter to go to their house. Of course, because me and my wife, well, at the time, my girlfriend, we're doing everything, and her family loves my baby. And they done fell in love with my baby. Yeah, let me just say that they go fool about my baby. So there was certain weekends I would just not send my daughter over there. She's gonna spend time with us. This is when this man really started doing the most. He wanted to tell me basically I can't take his weekends from him. And I'm like, I'm not taking your weekends from you. But you're a Facebook type of parent. Or whenever there's an event, you want my daughter. You don't want my daughter just because. Y'all, this man was literally trying to argue down with me about this. Part 40 is about to come. Okay, part 40, y'all. So now at this point, like I told y'all, he was doing the most. Doing the most because the weekends that he wasn't getting my daughter, we were spending time with my girlfriend and her family. And of course, y'all know if anybody got baby daddies, they be upset when you move on. I already know that. Now, here's the plot twist. This is the end of this story. When I go into my next story, y'all gonna be like, here, this don't make no sense. But it's all gonna tie back to what this story originally started out with. So
I think you got knocked up
I'm about
again.
to start the new story now. And then y'all gonna basically put two and two together. And I'm like, ain't no fucking way all this shit happened together.
So he never got charges pressed
So
on
that
him?
was a little snippet of part 40. And now we're gonna get to the new story. So y'all can come back and be like, God damn.
I got that.
This is what virtual care with doctors.
But he had my
No, that was her girlfriend.
So my daughter
That was her
ain't hear
wife,
from him
right?
since. I don't even think we was really talking because it was like 2 weeks. We wasn't talking. But he had my contact information. No, we cool. So I give him my number. I don't even think we was really talking because it was like 2 weeks. We wasn't talking. But he had my contact information. So my daughter ain't hear from him since, we had left court. Now we in February. And I had messaged him on Facebook asking him to call me because my daughter wanted to talk to him. And he was like, okay, what's your number? Because I got a new phone. So, of course, I sent him the number. So he ended up talking to my daughter. I'm thinking it's progress. That wasn't the case. So February, not calling. March, not calling. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's not comfortable calling my phone. Let me get my daughter a phone. She was 7 when I got her first iPhone. I'm going to give y'all part 42. Part 42. Now, this is still March. She just got her phone. So I sent him, his mama, his daddy, her phone number so that way they can talk to her. So now, me and him are having a conversation. And he was like, he wants to see her. And she's like, she want to see him too. So I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to pick a time in the day for y'all to see each other. So he said, well, let's meet up at the Bilo that was on Charleston Highway. Okay, cool. My daughter was excited to see him. So she was so ready to see him. But it hit her that she was seeing him. So I pull up in the parking lot and she sees him. He comes up to the car with his brother and he's like, hey, Zala. His brother's like, hey, Zala. His brother's talking to me saying, hey, this, that, and the third. Okay, cool. Then I asked my daughter, well, do you want to go with him? She proceeds to tell me no, she don't want to go. Part 43. So as she's saying, "Mommy, I don't want to go with him," he's trying to come around the car to come get her out the car. And I'm letting him know, like, she don't want to go with you. Just, calm down. She don't want to go with you. My daughter is crying, and he's too busy arguing with me because he think I set that up. And I'm like, why would I do that in front of her? I don't never bash you or talk about you in front of her. I'm definitely not going to do it now. So as he proceeds to come back around the car, he tries to open up my car door, but I luckily locked the door before he opened it. Then he just start going in like, "Oh, I'm going to beat your ass because you doing this and you set this up and you told her that she can't go with me, this, that, and the third." I'm like, "You're crazy. Do you not hear her saying she don't want to go with you? And now you're acting like this in front of her?" So that was it. That was it. Like, I was done talking to him. So I'm like, you know what? We'll try this another time. And I spit off. And my baby girl is still crying. Part 44. So after we spit off, we went back to my in-laws' house, and my wife just had got off work. So she was trying to figure out why was I upset and why was Tiana upset. Like, why was she crying?
12,
and I explained
13,
to her, I'm like, well,
14,
he
17,
showed out in front of her, and
she's only
she's
19.
not used to that. So, of course, all my in-laws was down at the house, and they were upset. They were pissed.
Hold up. She only 19 because she's a January baby. But she married already?
Mm-hmm.
Hold up. She didn't give herself no. She only had 10 little years of her life without somebody in it. But that was her way of I guess the wife worked and the wife moved her in. So that was her way of finally being grown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grown now. I got my own. Because there's no way at 19 years old, I'm having a baby that age, you will be that self-efficient. You can afford an apartment and everything.
Mm-hmm. She met that girl with all the girls start taking care of her. I don't know. She missed all. She didn't even put about how they met and all that in there.
I guess there is stories to that. But I just
somewhere in there she met her.
I'll find that story.
Yeah, somewhere in there she met her. She skipped that part.
No, but she met the girl when she said that her friends was in that car. That was one of the friends that was in the car.
Oh.
Because remember she said everybody know we was talking.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. She talked so fast.
No, she never said it. But I'm just adding it in for her. But this is just about, I only picked the one about her having a baby. I'll find if she has other stories.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find it out.
He should have enough common sense to know not to act like that in front of a child that he's trying to get to know and that he's trying to come in her life. Like, why would that be the first thing that you show her as you're trying to get to know her? And of course, I'm getting even more pissed because I'm like, you don't understand. This happened in 2017. So you don't understand, like, it's already been 7 years and you're still doing the fucking mows. Just be a dad and try to, come around. That's it. So, of course, I had to calm my baby down. Part 45. So now, let's fast forward a little bit to Easter. Because throughout that time when she was upset and I was already not texting because my daughter had a phone. So it didn't make me no different. But now here comes Easter weekend. Now, I have already been telling him, like, just make sure you're consistent, And he was saying what he was going to do and things like that. So Easter weekend come now, y'all. And somebody has sent me a picture showing like how he was doing for his other kids, which, of course, that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to do for your kids. But my thing is, don't say you're going to do something for her and she's expecting you to do it and you don't do it. He was supposed to get her an Easter basket. And do y'all think he got her the Easter basket? No. Now, normally, I just go ahead and get it, but he said he wanted to do it. Part 46. So, after he didn't get the Easter basket or whatever the case may be, I went in. I texted him. Matter of fact, me, my wife, and my daughter was at Fats. If anybody in Columbia, South Carolina, y'all know Fats. But yeah, we was at Fats. And I started going in, and I'm going in texting because I don't want my daughter to hear me going in. I wish I had that motherfucking phone, y'all. My other iPhone is locked, And I gotta reset that whole fucking phone. But anyways, in my other phone, it had the proof of what me and him was going back and forth doing. That's the iPhone 7 Plus, by the way. So me and him was going back and forth, and I cussed his ass out because I'm like, at the end of the day, you sit around here and you been saying, "Oh, I don't let you do this, I don't let you do that," but yet you doing this bullshit. Don't come in her life doing the fucking most, saying how you gonna do this, that, and the third, and then breaking promises. Don't do that. So now everything done went down here. If y'all thought he wasn't calling her, okay, part 47. So the back and forth between me and him continued. And this is not within that day. This is just throughout April and May and June. And he's not understanding why I'm always pissed with him.
Oh, he
I
ain't
always tell
supposed to
him,
be
"Listen,
around no
whatever me and you
kids.
got going on don't have nothing to do with Zala Tiana. You and her have y'all relationship. That's cool. I don't got nothing to do with that. But when you start hurting my baby's feelings, that's when I step in, because you're not going to continue to keep doing this over and over again. And all she wanting is for you to be in her life." Of course, he with the BS talking BS about him, and I'm disrespecting him and this, that, and the third. And I keep telling him, like, listen, you disrespect me or my child, you think I'm going to respect you? Especially when you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a father. I'm never going to respect anybody like that. Part 48. So now here we are in July, trying to turn over a new leaf. I just got married. I'm not trying to have none of that negative energy. So I took it upon myself to reach out to him.
You still in love with this man? Or you still young, though.
Again,
Take
it
that
was
back.
sporadic. Like, he wasn't talking to her every day. It was like here and there. But she just kept asking, like, "Mommy, why is my dad not calling me? Why is my dad not doing this, that, and the third if I got my own cell phone?" So again, I took it upon myself to reach out to him. Y'all see the time, right? Now, in reference to the time, the reason why I reached out to him that late is because when we were texting, he said that he was working earlier that day. So we was already busy because I just had got married the day before. So I told him, like, "Look, I can meet you when you get off work so we can talk, because we're not going to be in town." Sorry about the delay, y'all. Y'all know I have a whole business that I've been running, and I've been catching up on a lot of stuff with this damn business for Part 49. So at this moment, me and him is going back and forth because now I'm getting irritated, because it's like, you had already been lying to my daughter. You don't keep up with anything that you say. Like, it's just been a whole lie after lie after lie. So this is how the conversation went between me and him. Go ahead and pause it so y'all can read. Now, as y'all can see, he said that he wasn't meeting me nowhere after the BS that I put last time. Now, y'all remember when I told y'all my daughter wanted to see him and he tried to take my daughter and she did not want to go? That's what he's talking about. So that done took me over the edge. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm not about to keep being nice no more. I'm reaching out to you when it should be the other way around.
I was trying to tell you
this
that,
is what I had to say.
You didn't understand that.
Go ahead and pause it. Like, sir, who are you playing with? Okay, part 50. So still, me and him is going back and forth. Here he go with the foolishness. And as y'all can see, anytime he did some shit that hurt my daughter or was lying about something, this is when I got on his ass.
Okay, she goes, "Who are you first off, ninja? Stop coming at me sideways. Then you can talk to me. I done told you too many times to respect me or leave me the F alone. Like I said, let me see my child. Then you talk to me. Other than that, bye, my ninja. You chatting, you can't talk ish to or about someone and think they're gonna respect you. No, ninja. Show some effort and respect. FRFR. I don't know what that means.
For real, for real.
Oh,
Mm.
for real. Or leave me the F alone, my ninja." Then he go, "Who the F you talking to, itch? Respect who for what? Respect Zyla. Then we can talk. I don't have to do a muffin thing when it comes to you. You ain't no father, and let's be real." Well, I guess I said it backwards. "The only reason why you take care of your other kids," oh, he got a bunch of other kids now, damn, It's
Mm.
because they live in the same house as you. But if they wasn't, then you wouldn't take care of them either. You ain't ish. And if you ever think I'm about to respect your dumb ass when you're not being a man and helping with your seed, then you got life effed up. But you would feel the way Zyla is feeling real soon. Karma is an itch. Don't drop the soap.
Mm.
Uh-oh, that means he's still going to jail.
Yes. Y'all don't go nowhere. There's more. Make sure y'all pause so y'all can read it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still with the bullshit over and over again. Over and over and over and over and over.
Okay. Then she said, Zala, but you don't, I ain't never kept her away from you. That's why I bought her a phone, but I got something for your ass. Hey, your mom ain't had ish to give Ninja. You a whole liar. Dog, your mom ain't even raised you, but she had money to get me and my godparent. Got me out. You can't get to me, man. You a little girl. Still grow up, then come talk to me.
Mm.
Let me see my child, then we could talk.
Mm-hmm.
This man is crazy. This
Mm-hmm.
man, she didn't know she messing with a damn Looney Tune. Well,
Mm.
how would she know at 10? Now, when we tell them girls to wait a minute, because these men is crazy, then they start to see this man is absolutely cuckoo-de-luckoo. And this is why we tell y'all kids to wait, and this is exactly why I'm doing this video.
Yeah, he talking about grow up and then come talk to me. Nigga, you shouldn't have been sticking your dingling in her when she wasn't grown up.
Okay.
Shit.
And then, okay, she says, I'm a kid with my own ish. The F, like I said, don't drop the soap. And I don't give a funk if my mom didn't raise me, but your parents raised you, and look where you still at. I'm still doing better than you. He say, you sound dumb. See, she
Oh,
doesn't know that. He sounds like, to me, he's very narcissistic.
very.
He just wants a reaction. She doesn't know not to give him a. You got your new wife now. Throw his phone number away. That's it. Now take me to court. Take me to court. That's what you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna take me to court, or I'm gonna get the child support, let her live. And if you want vegetation rights, because he had vegetation rights, so that will mess him up from going back to court because he ain't doing what the court said. He's supposed to take the baby every weekend. Okay, you sound dumb. Ha! You know where I stay, F Ninja. This is what he calls the girl, a F Ninja.
Mm.
Come see me. Stop effing writing me. Darn you, stupid, or can't read. Don't write me back with no cop ask ish for your information, and you putting me in, I guess, the jail. I'll be back out in a year or so. So you're not hurting me.
Again. At that point, I just felt like the argument was pointless, but you start with me, I'm definitely going to go back and forth with you. That was then, when I was like 18, 19. And even though I'm 23, I don't do that bullshit no more, but y'all know there's definitely more
So
screenshots.
as of today, she's 23. So the girl is like 13 now, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're only 12 years apart. No. They're 12 years apart. So she's 23, she's 11. No, God damn it. 20, because 12 and 12 is 24. So when she gets 12, she's 11. The young little girl's 11 as we speak. Well, let's go.
Shot. And my thing with him is you want respect, but you can't even give.
We done went through a whole 11 years of this girl's life. Isn't that funny?
Crazy.
We went to almost 11 years. What the hell?
Look, it's late, but let's get part 51. So, if y'all thought the bullshit was over with the last screenshots, it wasn't. Let me introduce y'all to some more bullshit.
Anthony, your dog. Please bring him out.
Y'all, please make sure y'all
Jesus,
pause.
Anthony,
I'm
I
about to
told you
change
to
it.
take out. Why is there water?
And y'all remember how I was telling y'all the argument
What's
was petty? Like at this point, it's just me and him going back and forth. But again,
Oh, it's not
you're
water.
not going to try to
Anthony.
little girl me and think I'm not gonna come for that ass. Y'all, please make sure y'all pause this. Cause this is the part where he really fucking tried it. Like, do not try me. Nah, at that point, I really got pissed because it's like, who you calling a hoe when you took my virginity and I was fucking you for years? Okay, the only person I was ever. Okay, part 52. Before I give y'all more screenshots, the last post I was pissed about because it was like, bro, you called me a little hoe, but yet I was only having sex with you. Y'all remember when I told y'all about like me and him having sex all them years when I told y'all the 12 and pregnant story? Yeah. So we're in 2021. So that means 7 years ago, me and him, 7 to 8, whatever 2013 was, me and him stopped having sex. So I'm just like, how am I a little hoe? You took my virginity, didn't have sex with nobody else but you. From the time I started having sex with you up until the time that I stopped having sex with you. And we had a DNA test. If I was a hoe, I wouldn't know who my baby daddy was. So yeah, I was just confused. I know I look rough. I got a hair appointment this morning with part 53. So yeah, again, me and him continue to argue, just going back and forth. It's
First of all, she young. She ain't know no better. She thought being in combat with him is what was best for her, not knowing that she should have known that something was wrong with the whole damn family when they concocted that lie anyway. They had to plan that lie. Then they planned it, and that whole time they planned it, she should have known them people was not for her. You know, she know now, but she didn't realize that then when they sat there and said, "Oh, baby, not his," and "Oh, I took the test,"
Yeah, the mama was scandalous.
trying to
And
get
he
him not
sat
to
there
go to
and he
jail,
sat there and let the mama say all that.
trying to get him not to go to jail and stuff. And that girl almost took her life. What if it would have happened? Same thing we just saw. The couple of videos back when I put on the video about the young lady, what was she, 18 years old, and she took herself off this earth over her baby's daddy. And they blame it on the woman. She's a little girl. They want to blame it on the parents. No, sometimes shit just happens. Everything ain't, when nobody tell them rich white people or rich people entirely when they kids come home pregnant at their age. Nobody don't say it's the parents. Sometimes it's not the family. Sometimes it's the kid. Sometimes it's the kid.
Yeah, their whole damn family. No, she talking about the boy's family.
Yeah, she should have knew they was wicked. She should have knew they was wicked when they couldn't. But how would she know at that point? She's 13. How would she know the mindset of a man and the mindset of wicked in-laws? How would she know? Because I could have told her she was more than 3 weeks pregnant.
That's the lie she skipped over because they had been having sex. See, that's the lie she skipped over right there when she actually got pregnant.
I don't know. I think that she didn't know, and I don't think that she marked that date down when that boy said, "Hey, you getting big." That's how I knew it was over 3 weeks. She ain't gaining all that weight that fast because some women lose weight, then they gain it. And then she had that's why when I think this goes to answer alien question. I mean, he was like, and remember when we had that, when we were saying that when little girls get their menstrual early, they gotta learn their bodies. How would she know that? She didn't know her body. She didn't know how her cycle went. She didn't know. They told her come every month, but not everybody's cycle come every month. Some people they cycle skip.
He
I
had sex with her when she was on her cycle.
When she first did it, no, but I'm just talking in general because remember,
I'm just talking in general too. He
yeah,
had when her first time having sex was on her cycle.
right. But I was answering what you call this question.
I know.
When he was like, when we was trying to explain to him before, yeah, because a young
I know
girl.
what you was talking about.
Now I
Yeah.
want you to finish elaborating. When we were saying before, when we were saying, I wanted you to elaborate a little bit more from what we was trying to explain to him. That yeah, because of the young girl get her menstrual at 9, 10, 11. This explains exactly why they don't have no business being no mama or having no sex. They have to learn their bodies. So maybe she not learned. She didn't know anything about her body. You can't assume a woman menstrual is going to come once a month. Some women, because of whatever.
But she made sure that she put that in there that the auntie and the mama was always talking to her about her body and her period and stuff. She said it several times.
No, they told her, but what I'm saying is, I'm not on her right now. I'm just saying, I'm glad that this came up so Ellen can get an understanding that they told her, but that doesn't necessarily mean that was how her body will go. And being that she's still what 11, 12, 11, 11 turning 12, she probably was missing her period because she never said that she was still bleeding. So she probably was missing her period and thought it was normal, not knowing that no, that's not normal. Your shit is normal. Your shit is not irregular. You have a regular menstrual cycle. Or maybe she had an irregular cycle because nobody didn't notice that she wasn't using no pads. You get what I'm saying now? At what point in time that in 3 weeks they didn't notice that she did not say I have a menstrual? She didn't ask for a pad or nothing. Or did she was claiming that she was having her cycle and she didn't say, never at one time she said that she was still bleeding or not bleeding. So I would love to have an interview with her because a lot of things is missing. A lot of things are missing here. So did she not know the boy already said she got thick, but she already said that she was never thick before. But I knew for a fact. So which means when she was 3 weeks, she was really 3 months. She was 3 months. So what happened to 3 months worth of pads? So did she know and was hiding it? So she wanted the baby anyway. So this is why the 12-year-old and 13 out of business having sex till they learn their body, learn your rhythm. Not just saying a girl can get knocked up, but you need to teach them within the first 14 days and all of that, and teach them to really what the cycle is. So if they're going to sneak and do it, maybe they may do it the natural birth control method way. Not saying that it works, but it does work. Sometimes you do the natural method, get that calendar together, learn how to work that calendar. That's why them young girls ain't got no business having no baby just because they start their cycle. That does not make them grown.
Pointless, but we just keep going back and forth. And I want to say this is still within the same day, but it is in July, but we just keep going back and forth. The reason why part of what he said is scratched out is because the address is right.
Something, but don't take it. It seems like you ain't want to F. You F'd me and got me pregnant. You F'd me in 2011 when I came back. You F me in 2012. You F me in 2013. And you try to F me in 2014. And Ninja, you was hitting my line at the time. So don't play with me. You was in my friend line wanting to F her. So let's get that straight. The F, like I said, I got screenshots for years if you really want to go there. And that would be a violation of your probation, ain't it? You keep talking, just send me the location, bum, ass, dead, beat ish. And then she says something, pull up, don't want to hear the talking. So you home now? No. If I told you I'm about to get off, let me know when you get there. I don't wait on bums. Well, you shouldn't be waiting on yourself. Then you've been a bum since you moved here. Oh, God. There. Yeah. Bum? You don't have anything. Don't be trying to have the cops pull up on us neither. I know you're not 100. You done? Done. We waiting for you to pull up. 10-4. And don't bring your girl. Why she can't come? Laughing my butt off. She ain't your type. Bye. You ain't our type. Ha. Bye. Ha. Yeah, bye. Get me when you learn how to talk to someone. Why is she making us read this? Why you couldn't read it? Bye and take care of your child. Let me see her, then you can talk to me. Help take care of her, and she'll be in her merry way. On. Well, when I get to see her and spend time with her, I can start taking care of her. Why did you stop the child support then? Take care of her until then. Don't need to hit me up. I keep trying to tell men too. Sometimes child support could be the best thing that ever happened to you. You ain't got to worry about the chick. You ain't got to hear that conversation no more. See, when women still want to argue with these men, they don't go get child support. There's no need to argue back and forth. Get the child support in place. Then you ain't got to come. And you ain't got to worry about me calling you. Sometimes, and guess who told me that? A man. Many, many moons ago. He said, I'm proud. He said, I'm happy to pay child support. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah. He says, I ain't got to worry about calling and her calling me and going back and forth. He said, that's a less headache. And then he said, the child get the money off the top. That's a less headache. And that was a man who said that. This is not me. A man told me that many moons, and I thought about it. And as I got older, I'm like, he damn right. Do you know how you sound? You should have been taking care of her. That's your firstborn and only girl. The F? But I forgot who I had a baby by. You don't know better. Is there any way that you can just sign your rights over? Because she's doing good and always will be better without you. Because you ain't no real dad or a real man. Who the F won't take care of their child, whether or not they see them? You don't even call her son. What the F you talking about? She don't need your money. Me and my wife take good care of her without your help. So now, being that you said that, now you can never ask her for money again because you just said she don't need it. Women got to be very careful what they say. Women got to be careful. And she only got one bar left on her thing. Okay? So just sign your rights over and we can go about our business. You have to sign my rights over, Ninja. So you don't do it. I ain't hit you up. You wrote me. I ain't write you. So you sign my rights over and leave me alone. Ninja, you sound dumb. You have to sign the paper. I have the course draw you up papers for you to sign them over because I'm not going to keep going through this with you. My child will be wanting to come over and I hit you up to have a conversation about that and you sitting around her playing. So I have them papers sent your way. You don't know what you're talking about. Get the paper from the courts. I'll sign my rights over. You think you better than somebody, but you're not my ninja. So check yourself, because I'm not the one. You need to learn how to talk to people and respect people. Talk ish and you don't want. Now, she do got a messed up mouth, though. But now, women, yeah, a man can sign their rights over, but I see that as useless. Because Leah, legally, a child be 18 so fast it makes your head swing. A child is 18 so fast it makes your head swing. 18 really quick. And they still gonna go find their dad anyway. I just think it's useless. Just leave them be. Leave them be.
As y'all can clearly see, I've been asking him to sign his rights over for a good little minute now, because it's like we keep going back and forth, but you're still not taking care of your child. Just sign your rights over at this point. Okay, part 51. So the rest of the screenshots are just literally me and him arguing. So I was just over it at that point. Now that was in July of 2017. Now from July to about August, my daughter ain't hear from him. And I was trying to figure out, like, I hope me and him arguing didn't stop him from still trying to communicate with his daughter. But now in the midst of the argument, when we were arguing, he was like, I need to allow him to do more. And I'm like, if you want to do more for your child, that's on you. I'm never going to stop you to do more. So I had said something to the fact, like, you need to start contributing to, like, her school stuff. Not saying that I want you to, but you're her dad. That's the least you can do. So again, didn't hear anything from him. So I reached out to my daughter's grandfather. And I was like, hey, when is your son going to take her school shopping? Because school's around the corner. Let me go ahead and give y'all part 55 before baby girl come back. So the grandfather was like, two things. Can we see her? And then, yes, they're going to take her shopping. So I would just let him know, like, y'all could have been seeing her. Y'all the one that don't communicate with me. My number never changed. Y'all could have been seeing her. So, of course, I said I'll meet up with him. So we set up a date and all to meet up. You know, we had our conversation, whatever the case may be. And he was like, okay, you know, we're going to take a shopping this day. So a few days later, or I want to say a week or two later, they end up taking her shopping. And this how it went. Correction, y'all, it was in September. So like I said, a few weeks later. But yeah, this was the beginning of it. And of course, I was happy about that amount, because it's like y'all never did nothing for my baby and y'all finally doing it. So of course I'm like, okay, they coming around, you know, they doing for my baby, done this.
It was only $28. She said she was happy with that amount. Am I saying anything? That's at $28.
School shopping, what part of school shopping, their part. But yeah, of course, at that moment I was happy because I'm part 56. So now her grandfather is, I guess, trying to do more. But now I knew it was something. Y'all know it's always something. So now we get into October, right? And this is towards the end of October. So now he hits me up about seeing my daughter and saying that, you know, her father wants to spend time and see if she can spend time, whatever the case may be. So I'm like, you know, I don't care, but I need to ask her to make sure she's comfortable, because she's not comfortable sleeping at anybody's house. She don't care if it's her dad. If she have not been around you, she's not going to feel comfortable doing it. Now, I had just found out that he was in jail. So after me and my daughter's father got into it, that was back in July. I did not hear from this man, and my daughter did not hear from this man, and that was the reason why. Part 57. So when the grandfather asked me, this is how the conversation went. Make sure y'all pause it, please, so y'all can read it. Grandfather asked me, this is how the conversation went.
Hey, Blank wants to know if Zyla can spend December 1st weekend with us. Hey, sorry for the late response, but I don't mind. Y'all seen Zyla. And I will have to talk with her to see if she is comfortable seeing everybody, because I know she does not want to spend a night. But it was brought to my attention that Blank is currently in jail, and I will hope that y'all will not take Zyla to see him in jail without speaking to me about it, because I would not allow that. But I most definitely would speak with Zyla to see how she feel about that, because her feelings is what matters most.
Make sure y'all pause it, please, so y'all can read it.
Thank you for responding. I will not be there. Then I don't have any intentions on taking her to the jail without your permission. So talk to her. I will do I will do so when I get home. He is trying to make things right with you and her. Well, it's a little too late for him to make things right with me. He just needs to focus on making things right with Zyla, because that's who he owes the explanation to. That's why I communicate with you, because you're the only one who does not pick sides and always tell the truth and listens to me.
Now, again, that was a conversation between me and my daughter's grandfather. Now, at the end, you see how I said you're the only person that never picks sides. Da, da, da. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Okay. And then I also didn't tell my daughter that he was in jail because, like, no, I'm not going to tell her that, and not at all. So after that conversation, they ended up doing a video call from Facebook Messenger to speak to my daughter. Now, on this video call, it was my daughter, her grandfather, her baby brothers, because she got two brothers on her daddy's side, and I think it was the grandmother too. I'm not sure. Part 58. So I done hand my phone to my daughter. That's not my people's. I don't need to talk to them. You know, that's my daughter's people. So go ahead and talk to your people's. Now they talking to my baby like, Zala, how you been? What you doing? What you up to? How school is that and the third? Da, 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 da. Then of course my daughter started talking to her brothers. And again, you remember when I told y'all I did not tell my daughter that her dad was in jail. Her grandparents did not tell her either on the call. But y'all know who did say something? Her damn brother, the one right up underneath her. They're a year apart. Her brother told her, this what he said, y'all. Zala, you know your daddy not home, right? We waiting on your daddy to get home. And, you know, Zala just like, what the hell? Like, that's how her face was like, okay, get home from where? And she was like, well, where is he? Her brother was like, your daddy is not here. He's in jail. We waiting on your daddy to get home from jail. And the grandfather, perfectly now. So now the grandfather done snatched the phone and of course talking to my daughter, basically trying to change the subject. So now he get to ask her what she want for Christmas. So she was like, I don't know, I gotta think about it. So that was the end of that call because my baby said she wanted to think about it. Now my baby hang up the phone and she's like, well, mommy, you know, my dad family never really got me nothing for Christmas. What should I ask for? And here go me. Baby, run it the fuck up. Ask whatever you want to ask for. This is your time to shine. Run it up. So I was like, but for real, what do you want for Christmas? She was like, Mommy, I don't know. But I think I want a hoverboard. Now, me, the type of parent I am, I would just buy it for my baby. But she said she wanted her dad people to buy it. So the next day she called her grandfather, was like, I want a hoverboard for Christmas. So he ended up getting a hoverboard and he sent me a picture of it. And he was like, file the warranty claim, this and the third, all of that. But we ain't get it to Christmas. Part 60. So got the hoverboard. Like he sent me a picture of the hoverboard and he said, you know, you can come pick it up at Christmas time, which was the 24th, Christmas Eve, since she was actually spending Christmas with me. Now, at that time, but in December, that was towards December, like going into December, I had found out that her dad just got out of jail. So now let's fast forward to Christmas or Christmas Eve. So they asked me, like, what time am I coming? I'm like, listen, as soon as I get off of work, I'm going to come. And I was only working till like 12. I'll come and I'll bring her. Now, my plan was just to drop my baby off, but she did not want me to drop her off. So she wanted me to stay there with her. So I ended up staying there with her. Now, again, her dad was home from jail. Here's the effed up part about this. Her dad knew she was coming down to his house. And instead of waiting for her to come down so that way she can be a part of everything, he proposed to his baby mama before my baby got there. And that crushed her fucking.
Kev, what are you doing?
Out that he proposed to his baby mama before she got there, literally like 30 minutes before my baby got there. So, and that crushed her heart. So she went up to him. She was like, "So, Dad, you got married?" And he was like, "No, I got engaged." And my baby was like, "When?" And he was like, "Today." She was like, "Without me?" He didn't say nothing. So she was like, "Oh, okay," and walked out the house and got on her hoverboard and was playing outside with her brothers. Now I'm still sitting in the house and I'm just letting them know, like, congratulations. Let me know when the wedding is so I can come and throw rice. That's how I was. That's how I am. I want to see you happy because you act like you want to be up my ass this whole fucking time. You're finally doing something productive, okay? And not in my fucking business. And y'all remember the cousin I was going back and forth with on Facebook? That hoe was there too, but okay, part 62. So after we left, my daughter had her time with her siblings and her other side of the family. We left. We got in the car and my daughter was just so upset. I'm like, "Mama, tell me what's wrong." And she was like, "I'm just upset that my daddy knew I was coming and he didn't wait to propose to, his baby mama. And I wasn't a part of it." And I was letting her know, like, I know you feel some type of way, but you have to understand, like, your daddy just came home and, trying to butter her up, make it seem like, okay, he probably did not do it on purpose, but he probably wasn't thinking. But my daughter wasn't trying to hear that. She's the type of person where you got one time to show her that you don't give a fuck and that's it. And basically that's what he was showing her. So when we got home, of course, she told my wife, and my wife had to make sure that she was okay because that's her baby girl, part 63. So time went by. Now we, fast forward to 2018. And again, I told y'all I wanted this man to be there for his daughter. So I was taking my daughter back and forth. And I mean back and forth to, his mama's house where he stayed at. Now, me and this man, in the midst of me bringing my daughter to and from his mama's house, me and this man did not talk. Now, I was talking to his fiance and his dad. That was my communication. Like, I wouldn't communicate through him. I would communicate through her. And I was really communicating through her because I was communicating through his dad. And then on top of that, there was nothing for me and him really to talk about it because my daughter had her own phone. So I would let him know, like, you don't have to talk to me. Nobody in this house has to talk to me. Y'all can talk to my daughter. Y'all are her family, not my family. So, yeah. So that's how that went. Part 64. So like I was telling y'all before, I was just letting them know, like, they don't have to talk to me because my daughter has her phone. So now, again, she's still going over there, whatever the case may be. Now let's fast forward to get to her birthday in May. So everybody who know me knows about my baby. I do it big. It don't even have to be her birthday. Before her birthday, I goes all out. In this particular year, of course, she was in school, so I threw her a party in school, which I always do every year, and then I had a party that weekend. My baby wanted to go skating, so I said, okay, well, me and my wife will throw a skating ring party. Now, because I am the person that I am, I wanted her peoples to be involved with, like, okay, y'all, her party's coming up, y'all can do something.
Her purpose.
And
So,
the more she
the
talked, the more the picture started to look like that girl that's in that Daddy's Girl Club.
Let me go ahead and just give y'all parts.
Huh?
I said the more she talked and the more she changed, she started to look like that girl that was in the Daddy's Girl thing. Colt.
Cause she looking bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, she looking just like that girl now.
Oh yeah.
You sure she wasn't part of it?
She did become a BBW.
Yes, she did.
For a person who was small before, she she never snapped back. And you'd have thought she would have snapped back by now. You ain't got a
She
man.
never mentioned how she started gaining all that weight and everything and all that. What she was going through when she started gaining all that weight. I guess she gonna tell that in part 1962.
Who said? Somebody else said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they all short clips, so it'll all add up. And then I think when it gets to 100, then we're gonna finish the story. I don't want to do her whole entire thing. These are all different videos, so I just want to talk about kids having kids at 12. Oh, bless you, Caroline.
You sneezed when she was blessing you when you sneezed.
Ah, bless you back. Thank you. We'll be at part 2,440.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I couldn't stop it because we into the story. I couldn't say, okay, next video. Oh, thank you. This weather is so crazy out here. It's not giving my allergy sinuses a break. I'm not catching a break here. Alrighty. Here comes episode. She call it episode 61 to 70. I'm gonna call it episode 2,100.
For real.
Y'all wrong. Y'all dead wrong.
65. So I told the grandmother and all what's going on with the party. I'm not looking for anything monetary, but she was asking like, how much is everything? And I let her know, like, this is how much it is. Now, again, my baby had her phone, so I didn't need to talk to her dad, but she was talking to her dad. So while me and my wife is telling the grandmother how much everything is, again, my daughter's talking to her dad. And her dad told her, like, basically that he was coming to the party. He was going to bring her baby brothers and his fiance, which, again, like, I'm cool with it. I'm cool. It'd be to the point where, like, sir, you come, make sure you take Tiana with you because she need a break. That's how I am. So, I'm like, okay, my daughter told me, like, mommy, this is what my dad said. I'm like, okay, cool. But I just need to know if he's going to be there or not for sure. Like, for real. Y'all are so hilarious. Part 66. So now we get into the part where it's my daughter's birthday. Of course, other friends and family came. And then, his fiance and his mama and her baby brother came. Where he was, I have no clue, but he did not come to her party. So remember I told you my daughter is the type of person, like, you only got one time to disappoint her and that's it. That was the type of situation that was going on at the party. But I was trying to explain to her, like, me being a mom, just trying to make an excuse, like, oh, your dad probably had to work, this, that, and the third. She wasn't trying to hear that. So she ended up telling my wife, like, I'm upset because my dad didn't come and he told me that he was going to come, but he didn't come. So my goal basically at her party was just to make sure she was happy. Like, despite her dad not coming, I just wanted to make sure that she, was having fun with her friends and family. Part 67. So yeah, he didn't show up. Being a mom, I had to make up some type of excuse until why, like, he didn't show up. I'm like, well, maybe he was working or he couldn't come or whatever the case may be. And I know that the charges that he had, from dealing with me probably was a reason why he didn't come, but he's come to other parties. He can't be around kids. Why, but I was just trying to, ease the hurt from my daughter so that way she okay, well, my mom said he probably was working, so maybe that was the case. Now, after my baby party, I want to say like a few days later, I went the fuck in. Because why is you getting my daughter's hopes up and you lying to her? Regardless if
and you still speaking to that man, right?
And your mama, they're not her father. So why are you lying to her? So, of course, me and him was going back and forth. And this was on the phone. This was not through text. Part 68. So, of course, after me and him go back and forth at it, like, we don't communicate after that. Again, my daughter has her own phone, so there's no need for me and him to communicate. But his fiance was hitting me up. And she only really hit me up to ask me what size my daughter wore. And, Y'all know I'm not the type of person that ever tell nobody, no, you can't do nothing for my daughter. No, ma'am. You can buy my daughter whatever the hell you want to, okay? So I end up giving her my daughter's size, whatever the case may be, and I guess they got her
Sounds like
clothes.
she
I want to
turned
say they
out to be
did.
a
I don't
good
remember,
mom.
child. So after, I guess, when they brought the clothes, I took my daughter down there so that way she can, spend time with them and get her, her gift. Now, I told y'all that my daughter wasn't the type of person at that time when she was that young to stay down there by herself. She always wanted me to go with her. So, like, I would sit in the car or I would sit in the living room. Of course, I love y'all. Part 69. So time go by, and yes, I'm taking my daughter down there when she wants to go down there. It wasn't often, but when she wanted to go down there, I would gladly take you down to your daddy and his people's house because your mama needed a break. That's just how I was. Now, as time is going by, it wasn't much interaction. Like, he really wasn't calling her, wasn't texting her, wasn't checking up on her, none of that. So this is going into the next school year. So I'm like, okay, school's coming around. Ain't nobody text me or call me saying, hey, does all I need this, does all I need that? It was none of that. So, of course, I hit up my granddaddy, like, okay, what y'all doing this year? Are y'all doing the same thing y'all did last year or no? Of course, they say no. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Me and my wife just had went school shopping, but I was just trying to see if they were going to do something. Part 70. Now, before y'all be like, oh, but if you got money, why you need that, da, 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 da. That's not the case. I just wanted to see if they were going to do it.
She done pushed the wrong button, or it might be over.
No, I pushed the wrong button.
Oh.
You know me already. You know I did. If it ain't me, it's you.
Shoot.
I said, damn it.
Oh, part 5,457.
Now it's not letting me share it. Damn it. Y'all can still hear it though.
Just wait a minute. You pushing it too fast. You just got kicked out. Oh Lord. Remember last time you had to go all the way out and come back in for it to play?
No, it's not letting me do nothing. It's spinning now.
Uh-oh. The internet is acting up. That weather y'all having.
Oh, y'all can't hear it now because you stopped talking. And my thing is spinning. My mouse, I don't have a mouse. But at least I can talk to y'all for a couple of seconds. We was only up to 1,237.
She's getting bigger and bigger. And that, I mean, that girl she met was a big wide load and looked like she trying to get as big as her. That's a shame.
Well, just in case, we probably will finish 71 to 7,000 to. Mm. And yeah, it's good because we got to talk anyway. We just can't listen to her. But she does, which I think she does it like that because she only could do small clips on TikTok. And then she puts them all together for YouTube.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Yeah, that's why it's these little segments. Okay, I get it now.
But she don't have to keep saying part. She just continue. That's the funny thing. She go part 67, part 62.
Well, that's what she's doing on TikTok because it's little clips. You just said it.
But she don't have to keep saying part. You could just continue the story or something. That's what's making us laugh because she keep going part, part. This is crazy.
She looks like a booger bear.
I can't even see
Getting into the video. I seen that big old thing up over there on that bed. Look like the whole bed raised up.
I was trying to be nice now. You
It did. It looked like a whole damn bedspread, mattress, and everything raised up. I said, "What the hell is that?" Then you see that little head.
And every time she sit in the car, boom, boom. But I don't even know when she did all this because you would think that she did it since she was 13, but she was getting bigger as she was doing this because we're 22 now. And she said
Right.
we're in 20, so she probably getting bigger as she was every time she did it. Each day she got bigger.
She was. It
Every
was
2 days.
video by video. I said, "Look at her now." And then I'm looking at her neck and parts of her body. This girl is eating up some stuff. Her and her wife.
Hmm.
They not playing with the kitchen.
But you could tell she's still a child, and she doesn't understand that man is toxic. Cause since the age of 14, I'm not dealing with him no more.
And all she do was deal with him, call him, deal with
Mm-hmm.
him, his wife,
I'm going off. I'm going off.
his mama, his daddy, his grandpa, oh my goodness. She was stuck with him for real.
Nope, I ain't doing no more.
And then he ended up going to jail for messing with her. And she still was trying to make like everything was cool. Talking about she didn't tell her daughter what was going on because she wanted her to enjoy her birthday. No. You should have been told your daughter the real truth because she going to grow up and find out why daddy can't be in the house with us and all this other stuff.
She should have told her daughter because to think about it, why would you hide that from your daughter when your daughter is now getting ready to get her menstrual cycle? Don't forget, you were 11. You was 10 when you met him. You was 11 when you started screwing him. Yeah. Your daughter is at that age bracket. Will you don't think some boy looking at her? How you hiding stuff from her, but at her age you were bumping and grinding?
That's where I want. What part you gonna get to when you talk about that, ma'am?
I can't even see our faces. I just got the white screen, so I'm going by the voices and what the thing said, what the chat say.
Mm-hmm.
I got a big old white screen in front of me, and my thing's still spinning. Yeah, so that's why you should have. Oh no, we got to talk, little mama. Cause your daughter, you think your daughter not gonna figure out your age, or she probably said the age to her daughter. I'm not gonna say she never talked to her daughter because we didn't hear any of them story times yet to say that she didn't. We're only going by the story that we have here. But she never said, well, yeah, me and my daughter had a talk. When she was 9, I let her know when she was 9. So when she get 10, when she hit them double digits, I had to make sure she ain't looking at no little boys.
I should have let her know, me and your dad was when we got together, I was really young. And this is not how it's supposed to be. We ended up having you, and you a blessing and everything, but it don't go like that. She should explain to the girl.
I agree. I totally agree because my main thing is for her not to follow my mistakes. And I have to let her know when you hit double digits, girl, you better shit. The same way it happened to you, it can happen to any little girl, including yours. And that's what she needed to be speaking more about, or maybe she have. Remember, she's only telling the story of her, how she had the baby, but she has a whole page. Y'all can go check out her whole page. I don't want to say what she's not saying because these videos doesn't consist of any type of conversation she had with her daughter. So I don't want to say she didn't do this or she did that when I don't know. I would search more to see if she had more stuff like that.
Well, in this conversation, she didn't.
Right. Yeah, but I don't want, sometimes when you use people's stuff, they watch it and they see how you did their video.
Oh, the other night, it was real late. I went on community page. He had put out a new page. So I said, "Oh, let me see what he got going." And I went on there, and he was going in on this lady saying that the lady was defending some woman that was in some kind of problem with a dude, and he was going in on it, and you always want to defend the women and da 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 da, and then next thing you know, he jumped on my child was choked by my baby mother, and and he was screaming to the top of his lungs,
Mm.
and I said, community. I said, didn't you say you wasn't gonna talk about that no more? Remember we had that conversation, girl. He yelled out, boss lady, I don't want to hear that. Take that comment out. Yada yada. I mean, he was screaming, and I guess he, after a few minutes, he smoked a cigarette, or whatever. Then he thought about it, and he was like, "Oh, boss lady, yeah, we did have a conversation. I remember, but I'm still going to court for my daughter right now. Yeah, you're going to court for charges of harassment, but you're not going to court for trying to get custody of your child. That's what we were talking about." And girl, he
I can't drop a link, Charlene. I can't do nothing. My
oh,
my thing is frozen. I don't
go
even
out and
see.
come back in, Tony.
It's not letting my mouse. I will have to shut it down and come back. I will have to shut the whole computer down
Mm,
because we're gonna just talk it.
yeah, but
But next time tomorrow,
mhm.
or if I come back on, we'll do some more story. It's another story too. I just didn't want to mix the two together. Then we can talk about it. But my mouse is still spinning in circles,
Oh, crazy.
and that's because we touching the wrong damn button.
Yeah, you done sent it into cyberspace.
I know, right? I don't
Okay.
even know how I'm gonna end this. It's not gonna end. Once I will have to still come back in just to end it. That's crazy.
You didn't end
Um.
it last night. When I came back, the thing was still going and said that it was ended, but I was still in the back chat.
Oh. Okay. She says never. Okay. Well, maybe that's why she never wants to stay by herself when she visits. I think the mother is the one who don't want her to stay by herself because
The
they
mama
may
feeling
not.
some
They
type of
might not.
way.
Huh?
The mama feeling some type of way because of how she was done when she was young.
Right. Because the daughter did have knowledge of the father. They used to keep the kid. Remember, she said she used to stay. If the child used to stay every weekend, the child stayed while she went to the pool. So it's
Mm-hmm.
not like the child did not know them. She knew them,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So even though once a child reached toddler stage and they know their parent, at that point they know who that is. When they reach by 4, they know who that is. I had to let my daughter know that these boys have the bumps.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you can say what you want with your kids. You could do what you want. You could try to scare them. Some going to take heed and some is not. Some is not.
And you have to let them little girls know that little crotch you gotta be on fire. And you better watch it.
That's what I told my son. I said, you're going to mess with the wrong girl. You're going to be shooting out fire. But it's true, though.
Mm-hmm. You gotta tell them it's serious out there.
You got to let them know. You may not bring home take home, may not leave a baby. You may take something with you. Take something. That's why when Nature Nut and all them, when they leave, they take something. And then you see how that other girl had the next man just that quick. I'm like, there's no way in the world. There's no way in the world. If I seen your ass on social media acting, I go for all of them, big old girls and all of them. I you I mm mm.
Yeah, even those big old girls, they be Pastor P be sleeping with all of them. Brandon be sleeping with all of them. They be carrying on. That's people, and they be meeting up. They be meeting at hotels and all that kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Call themselves having the drip god show and all
You
this.
sure? You sure it ain't motels? They ain't paying for no hotels.
No, they be at the no-tails.
Ah,
Uh,
on the strip tails, on the strip. Whatever you get is what you get.
they be over there in the Mexican neighborhood in the little huts. Mm-hmm.
Nicole said exactly, boss lady.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up. I didn't go to sleep thinking about that house, but I sure enough woke up thinking about the house that we saw yesterday. Oh my God.
Oh, that was horrible.
Oh God, big old folks done lost their mind. Yeah, them big old folks, they done lost their mind. I would not be not all. It is what one have. All of you guys got. If y'all want to deal, if ain't no way these men you heard have something, and you hear what they like to do and how they like to do it. I wish I'd get on big. I wish a ninja would. No, 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 no. All of them on big O. I mean, they arguing, but they technically they all screwed each other.
They all do the same thing.
No, they all screwed each other.
Mm-hmm.
Technically,
Mm-hmm.
once you pass this one around, pass this one had the first one, had the second, and
Mm-hmm.
now that girl, and she looks scary to me, but Nature Boy says she's pretty. But what is her name? Leela, whatever. Ain't she supposed to be coming to Drip Goddess now? She over there sending TKO. I wish I would send a man some money. I don't know what's wrong with y'all women.
Now she want to go see TKO.
Yeah, she been. And then that's when he was telling she was up there. It was her, Nature Boy, and TKO, and then she was like, "You gonna let him mess up what we got?"
Yeah, I saw that, Nicole. That was crazy.
Queen, I thought I saw that. I thought I was seeing things, but Queen Op and Shell shaved their heads.
Remember I told you yesterday we was doing
Oh,
we was watching something else. So
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't. I have to turn the computer off. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Or I'm gonna have to go out and come back in. So I may come back in with something else. I don't know, but I know that I have to cut the computer off and let it restart.
yeah, you gotta reboot it. All right, we'll
Yeah.
see you in a minute.
This is crazy, and I gotta put. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Put something on that little thing. I be clicking by mistake, but I know it's gonna click the whole thing off. The whole. I was gonna send it to La La Land. All right, guys.
Mhm.